TFM Floresville.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Boston Celtics got it done. They won their 18th title in franchise history, most in NBA history, finishing off the Dallas Mavericks last night, 108-88. Jaylen Brown named his finals MVP. Joe Mazzulla, by the way, became the youngest coach at 35 to win a championship since Bill Russell did it as a player coach in 1968. Now we get to focus on the draft. Spurs hold picks 4 and 8.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Yeah, I already see a gig of Maggies on our YouTube channel. I think it's appropriate today to say gig of Aggies. How about those Aggies? They beat Kentucky last night 5-1. They are headed, well, they're one win away from the finals of the College World Series. Congratulations to them, and we'll be watching. We will be watching, that is for sure. Hello, everybody. It is the Blitz. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minnick still on vacation. James Pledger is running the show over there, making this bus roll and drive and all of that kind of stuff. And of course, we couldn't do it without you. Thank you for tuning in this afternoon right here on 94.1, whether you're doing that in the car, driving around, on an app somewhere, on sasportstar.com, or on our YouTube page. We appreciate having you guys this afternoon. As always, a lot to talk about. I'm going to tell you what, it's interesting to me that we got so much to talk about. Obviously, the Boston Celtics got it done last night. That was me and my family yelling at the TV last night to the Boston Celtics, or maybe the Dallas Mavericks. I'm not sure. Either way, somebody was overrated in that whole thing. We're going to get into a lot of what happened last night, and moving forward, it's going to be interesting to see because Pledge and I were talking before the show. Looking at that Boston Celtics team, and I know they've got Jaylen Brown. I know they've got Jason Tatum, but they don't have that one guy like a LeBron James or a Kobe Bryant or a Steph Curry. It's just team basketball, and that's what I love about it. And the Derek White, Pete Estrada on YouTube says he deserved the MVP. Well, maybe he certainly deserves a couple of new front teeth after what happened to him last night. That was crazy. But happy for Derek White. I really am. I'm happy for Derek White. Gets traded to Boston, and he wins an NBA championship. So that's a good thing for him, and I'm very happy to see that he got that done. And that team's going to stay together. So it begs the question, obviously, and I've heard it asked all day, but I'll ask it here again. Are they going to be a force to be reckoned with in the future? We'll get into all of that coming up here on the Blitz today for sure, and how the Boston Celtics blueprint, if you will, might be something the Spurs would be interested in looking at. I find it fascinating. So we'll talk about all of that coming up. Luka Dončić again is just getting roasted, and I don't understand it, but we'll go into that coming up in just a little bit as well. The guy's 25 years old. He's a little chunky Euro who, just wants to play basketball and drink beer and be left alone. And I don't see anything wrong with that at all. We'll talk about that. Here's some of that criticism that he's certainly getting. Whether you think it's deserved or whether it's not deserved, I'll leave that up to you. But you can get involved in the show today, and I certainly encourage that. On the phone lines, the old-fashioned way, if you want to, at 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You can tweet or X at me, at Joe Reinagel 210, or you can get on our YouTube page, which has become a popular spot these days. And I really do like that because the comments pop right up there. I can read them. I can see them firsthand. If you haven't had a chance to go to our YouTube page, do that. Like it, subscribe to it, all of the good stuff there. that we can do. It's been an interesting day because I got to tell you, when you are, I'm just going to say it. It's confession time. When you're as arrogant and loudmouthed as I can be sometimes, and it's no surprise to anybody that listens to this show on a regular basis. Well, I do the same thing. I'm kind of the same guy everywhere. So, when I go to the gym, I'm kind of a loudmouth. I'll scream over on the other side of the room, "Hey, Ray, the rally starts today, buddy," or something like that. And
so that's where your voice went.
Well, maybe that's it. Although it is, I think, a little better today. It feels like it's a little bit better today. We'll see how it is about 3 hours from now. But right now, I think it's okay, and we'll get this thing done. But Ray is such a nice guy, and I got to get Ray on the show. And just so you guys can see, he's a nice guy. He loves to debate, but he debates in a way that is nice, right? It's nice. And, Minix and I don't debate that way. Pledge and I don't debate that way. If we've got an opinion, you're going to know that that's our opinion. And if you don't agree with it, you're dead wrong. That's just the way that it is. So that's kind of the way we do it around here. But Ray is just nice. And so I go in this morning and I say, "Hey, Ray, you were right, buddy. And Boston was the better team. They got it done." But I said, "Look, I'm just happy they won one." And he looks at me and he says, "I'm happy they won one too, Joe, just for you." And then you really feel like a donkey, right? I almost want him to say, "You big, loudmouth, arrogant dude. Yeah. I tried to tell you that you were dead wrong and that Boston was going to win this thing." But he doesn't do that. And it makes me feel even worse because I just have to kind of shrivel up and crawl away and wallow in my own self-pity. And so that's kind of what I did this morning. But I appreciate Ray. And there will be other arguments between Ray and I, as there will be other arguments between all of us, because the beauty of this job is that is the job. You kind of want to argue with everybody. We try to entertain, we try to inform, but really when push comes to shove, it's a debate show. We debate, we have opinions, and we do that. So my demeanor is never going to change. So that's just the way it is. You got to deal with the obnoxious, arrogant blowhard that I can be sometimes. Just look at it this way.
Did Ray really say,
"Yes,
I'm glad they won one for you too"?
Yes, that's exactly what he said. I think that is an exact quote, Pledge.
That's amazing.
And so I had no response to that. It's like, thanks, Ray. I mean, what do you say to the guy? Thanks, Ray. I'll go over here now and just sit in the corner and cry. You're not going to be right all the time, right? I mean, you're not. I don't know. Y'all give me a hard time about my beer bets, and I've been on a little bit of a losing streak lately. I will admit it. Although I think I get roped into some of these stupid bets with Minix and Pledge. But having said that, been on a little bit of a losing streak. But, there's always the next time. And I can't wait for the next time and the next time. I'm never going to quit. You know that. I'm not going to quit. You got to keep firing away. You got to keep swinging, and eventually you're going to hit one right out of the park. And that's what I'm trying to do. Hit one right out of the park. It was Tender Tuesday today, and we've kind of gotten into a habit here at the radio station. So you go over to Bush's Chicken, and they have a special on Tuesdays, Tender Tuesdays. But they actually do this dude was throwing gizzards down left and right. I mean, people actually feast on those things, and it's nuts, and I don't get it. They look like little balls of grease with some crust around it.
What are they called again?
Gizzards. That's what they're called. Jeez. It's just, it's hard not to say it that way. Gizzards. It's like some dude out on the ranch. "Hey, honey, make some gravy and gizzards." I mean, my gosh, what the hell? Which is, by the way, just makes it sound that much worse. The gizzards.
I think it's perfect.
Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. But I had to stand there because they had all these tenders ready, so they had the box of tenders ready, but they were out of French fries. So, and which is fine with me because I don't mind sitting there another few minutes and waiting for fresh French fries, and they were delicious, by the way. But I keep seeing the guy in the back, the chef, I guess, if you will, the fry cook. He keeps dumping this basket of gizzards to the top, and the lady scoops them up into a box, and somebody carries them off. And I must have seen 3 or 4 people do that. And I want to look at them like, why? What are you thinking? They also had livers too, livers and gizzards.
Jason and I tried to tell you.
Dude, now have you eaten a liver?
No.
A fried liver?
No.
Now, if it was confused for a gizzard, you would eat it?
I would probably try it if I thought it was
a
gizzard.
Holy cow. Dude, I can't do it. And I had to sit there and watch that. I'm trying to look at my phone and not be, but it's almost like a magnet, right? And I just keep looking up at this guy, and he keeps pouring these gizzards into the basket, and she keeps scooping them up into a box. And I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me, but entertaining nonetheless. And I tell you, when I'm standing there putting on a show there, there's this one lady, and I can't remember her name, but she's wearing a badge, and it says general manager. Well, she's flipping the guy off in the back, and I mean, it was just like it was a show in Bush's today.
I said we need more gizzards.
It was a show, I'm telling you, and it was interesting. But it's been a good start to the day. I get humiliated this morning. Had to watch him cook gizzards all for about 5 minutes there at Bush's, and now I'm here with you, fine folks, and I'm very happy to be here with all of you as we get this day started. Again, thank you so much for spending part of your day with us here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, the Blitz. We will get this thing done. Obviously, we're going to talk a lot about the NBA Finals last night, but with some twists coming up, because not only, look, we can all be happy for Derek White, and I think everybody is happy for Derek White. I hated the fact that the Spurs traded him away. As it turned out, it was necessary. I get it. It worked out good for everybody, including Derek White, who is now wearing a ring. So I'm happy for him. We'll hear from Derek White coming up in just a moment. But again, Luka Dončić is just getting roasted again. Remember, this happened after Game 3. And he was crying to the officials. He acted like a big baby, and maybe he deserves some of that. But it sounds to me like people are just trying to throw this dude into the garbage can. And I don't get it. He's 25 years old. He's talented as hell, and I don't understand it. So we're going to get into all of that and a lot more as we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM.
Injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to an OrthoNow injury clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. OrthoNow provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. OrthoNow has everything. But best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Thinking of popping the question? Diamonds Direct has an offer you can't miss. This month only, buy a natural diamond engagement ring of 1 carat plus and receive a free natural 1 carat diamond tennis bracelet valued at $2,000. Imagine giving her the ring of her dreams and her wedding gift all at once. No one provides education, selection, and value like Diamonds Direct. Your chance to get a free tennis bracelet from your friends at Diamonds Direct won't last long. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
This is a consumer alert to all U.S. taxpayers who owe the IRS back taxes or have unfiled tax returns. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, you can now take advantage of active programs that provide relief to struggling taxpayers and may reduce or eliminate what you owe if you qualify. Even if you are facing liens, levies, audits, wage garnishment, or already in a payment plan, call the Easy Tax Relief Helpline now to check what savings you may qualify for at 800-535-3151. You may qualify to reduce up to 99% of what you owe or for other special programs. Once qualified and enrolled, you can rest assured that your assets are protected and all collection efforts will be stopped. Billions of dollars in savings are available through these relief programs for struggling taxpayers, but you must call to see if you qualify. To see what savings you qualify for, call 800-535-3151. 800-535-3151. That's 800-535-3151.
Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB yet? Southern Recipe small batch offers big, bold flavors like hot honey, spicy dill, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein crunch. Turn snack time from ordinary to extraordinary with flavorful pork rinds. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB today.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The innovation you've been waiting for is here. The Big Cheez-It Crunchwrap Supreme and Tostada from Taco Bell. Built on the 16X Cheez-It platform, able enough to make a Cheez-It Tostada possible, and cheesy enough to power a crunch wrap. Because if you want to change the world, you have to bring something big to the table. Think big and order the Big Cheez-It Crunchwrap Supreme and Tostada from Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for limited time only, while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan Sea Salt Body Wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com. Hulu is coming in hot this month with new shows, new movies, and all new seasons of your faves. Don't miss FX's Clipped, the story of one NBA team's racial reckoning starring Lawrence Fishburne. Stream a new season of Shoresy, the underdog hockey team that might just knock your teeth out. Then catch the high-speed drama Ferrari starring Adam Driver and Penelope Cruz. Kick your streaming into high gear this month with so much new stuff to watch on Hulu.
Free is key during Craftsman Days at Lowe's. Right now, get one free Select V20 tool when you buy a Select Battery 2-pack. Plus, get your choice of a V20 drill or impact driver kit for $69. Don't miss your chance to save on the high-quality, high-performance tools you need during Craftsman Days. Because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 6/19. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
And now Dallas will dribble it out. This crowd on its feet, the best team in basketball all year. All the work, all the sacrifice, handling the enormous weight of massive expectations. Inside here. It's over. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured. The Celtics are NBA champions.
Pretty incredible for the Boston Celtics, no question about that. And it really wasn't even close. You know, watching the game, it was good for, I don't know, about halfway through the first quarter. And then Boston just started making everything. I mean, making shots from all over the place, and their defense was just incredible. And I think for me, that's probably the most impressive part of what the Boston Celtics are. They remind me of an old school San Antonio Spurs kind of team where you've got a lot of players out there. You got a big star, obviously, we had in Tim Duncan, but you had some great players around him. Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, depending on how far back you want to go. And you look at the Robert Ory's, and there were always a lot of role players, good role players around the big three. And I just found that I found watching the Celtics the entire playoffs, but especially last night, as poorly as they played in Game 4, they were that much better last night in Game 5, making shots, and the defense was just smothering. I mean, it was just absolutely smothering for the Dallas Mavericks, and it was a beautiful thing to see. Jaylen Brown is your MVP for the Boston Celtics. There could be a lot of debate as to who that could be. We've already had a comment on our YouTube channel that Derek White deserved it. Maybe so. Jason Tatum, you can make an argument. You can make an argument for Drew Holiday. And so there's a lot of guys. And that just kind of makes my point that there's guys that stepped up, did their job and their role. And I said going into this that Boston was overrated. And I don't say they proved me wrong necessarily. They're certainly not overrated. And I think that word is wrong. Will they go down as one of the best teams in NBA history? I'm not sure that they will. I really don't think so. Maybe they're all back together next year. Maybe they win another one, and that would change their mind, or my mind certainly. But they're a great team, and they play team basketball. That is the most impressive part as far as I'm concerned. And again, it was a thing of beauty to watch. Dallas had absolutely no answer for the Celtics. And when that dude made that half-court shot at the halftime buzzer, I mean, you knew it was probably over anyway, but it was certainly over at that point in time. And again, Jaylen Brown is your MVP. Whether you like it or not, whether you think he deserved it or not, I don't think anybody's going to argue and say he didn't deserve it. But I think you can make a case for the other guys that I just mentioned. But Brown, after the game, well, he obviously very happy that he won that award.
I can't even put into words the emotions. It's just I'm blessed and I'm grateful. This was a full team effort. We had a great team. My teammates were great, allowed me to lead us on both ends of the ball. And we came out and just performed on our home floor. It was just amazing. And it could have gone to anybody. It could have gone to Jason. Jason, I can't talk enough about his selflessness. I can't talk enough about his attitude and his just how he approached not just this series or the finals, but just the playoffs in general. And we did it together as a team. And that was the most important thing.
Well, they certainly did. They were a team. And the most impressive part, I think, of the Boston Celtics is how they play as a team, how they perform as one unit. And it's really cool to see. And I love that. And look, when you look at Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, people have been trying to make Jason Tatum a superstar for years, and almost to his detriment, I think. And you look at it now where he leaves his ego at the door, and it's not all about him. He knows he's not the guy. He's not the superstar of the Boston Celtics. He knows he's got a lot of talent around him, and he lets the other guys play. Now, he played well last night, especially assisting. He did a great job of that, and did his fair share of scoring as well. But he was great last night. Brown was good last night. But the one thing about it is that Tatum says, I'm happy for a guy, Jaylen Brown.
Well deserved. Extremely happy for him. This is a hell of an accomplishment. The main goal for us was to win a championship. We didn't care who got Finals MVP. I know that I need him through this journey, and he needs me. It was great to see him have that moment and share that moment with him. I'm extremely happy for him. Well deserved. That was big time. He earned that.
Yeah, I think he did. And again, you can make a case for two or three of those guys right? You could make a case for those guys, but Jaylen Brown wins it, and I think it is well deserved. It's hard to argue against that. As far as Luka Dončić, this guy, he's taken a lot of heat in this series. There's no doubt about it. And I find it interesting, and I've talked about this before, but he's a young guy, and the Dallas Mavericks, keep in mind, were the 5th seed going into the Western Conference playoffs. A very difficult road to get to the NBA Finals, and the reason they were in the NBA Finals was Luka Dončić. Now, you could say, well, that's great, but when it got to the big time, he didn't perform. And that's fair as far as that goes. I think that's fair. But when you talk about running this guy out of town, like he's just an out-of-shape Euro who drinks beer all the time and doesn't really care about anything, I think is wrong. And we'll get into more of that coming up in just a moment. But last night after the game, Luka said, hey, we had a great year.
I feel great. We did some great moves. I would say, we've been together for 5 months. I'm proud of every guy that stepped on the floor, all the coaches, all the people behind. Obviously, we didn't win finals, but we did have a hell of a season, and I'm proud of every one of them.
And you should be proud. And I think the Mavericks will be back. And when you look at teams and how they move forward, I think when you're Boston, you're in pretty good shape. You've got your guys, your main guys coming back. What are they going to do? A guy like Al Horford, for example, you got to be happy for a guy like that who's been in the league for a long time, never won anything, finally got a ring. He's just one of those good guys who you kind of root for no matter what. So Al Horford gets a ring. That's a good thing. Boston's in pretty good shape. The Mavericks, on the other hand, they've got to tweak something. All right, they've got to get somebody else that they can count on besides Luka and besides Kyrie. I mean, they have to. A guy like a Derek White, for example, that kind of player who is a hell of a defensive player but can knock down a shot as well, is something that would benefit the Dallas Mavericks greatly. Now, obviously, Derek White has got another year left in Boston, so he's not going anywhere, most likely. But did you see the play where it was a hustle play on everybody's part? There were 2 or 3 players there, and I think it was Lively that landed on White's back chasing a basketball, and White was chasing it too, and knees him in the back, and White's face just went planted into the floor. And I think knocked a couple of teeth loose. But White went and wiped the blood off, got right back in there, and did what he did. And he said, look, if I have to do that to win a championship, so be it.
This cost you. Why was it all worth it?
Man, this is what we work for. I mean, I'll lose all my teeth for a championship, and so I'll get it fixed, and I'm going to enjoy this one.
And you should enjoy this one. Derek White is just one of those guys that when the Spurs drafted that guy, I was thrilled. And you saw the play that the player that he was, even then, and obviously wasn't near as good as he is now when he was with the Spurs. He has gotten better on both sides of the floor. And he was always a pretty good defensive player. But he's just one of those guys that you root for, kind of a quiet guy, doesn't really, talk a lot of trash, and just goes out there and does his job. And so if anybody, I think any Spurs fan has got to be happy for Derek White. And I've seen a lot of comments on Twitter today. Congratulations to Derek White, and it's good that you got yours, and yada, yada, yada. And that's cool of Spurs fans to do that. And I think a lot of Spurs fans that's why they were rooting for Boston, just because of Derek White. But what I love about that guy is, I mean, he was a major factor in everything that the Boston Celtics achieved this year. Derek White was a major factor. He didn't just step up in the playoffs. He was there all year, and he was a major factor in what they did and how they got it done. And that's the beauty of all of that. So congratulations to the Boston Celtics. I was wrong. I had Dallas in 6. Obviously, that didn't happen. Boston wins in 5. But I wasn't the only one. This is one of those series that, even a lot of the national folks were split as to how this would go. A big reason for that is because of Boston's track record. They've been deep in the playoffs. They've been to the finals, and they can never get it done. They can never get it done. last night they got it done. But there was always that doubt. And we talked about it yesterday. If Dallas would have won that game last night, you would have heard such a different story today about, here we go again. The Boston Celtics are being the Boston Celtics. And it would have been that way. So they proved something to everybody, including themselves, I think, that they can get it done. Because when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the Boston Celtics and how they were built and the time that it took for them to get Brown and Tatum, the pieces around them that they needed to finally get over the hump. We're going to talk about that. Plus, we're going to talk about Luka Dončić. What do you think of Luka Dončić? And in all sincerity, like the guy, hate the guy? Is he just a chunky Euro who's more interested in drinking beer and smoking cigarettes? I mean, seriously, because I've heard all of this, and I would like for you guys to chime in. Do it on the phone if you would. 210-656-3776. 656-ESPN. You can also tweet at me at Joe Reinagle 210, or you can get on our YouTube page, which folks there are right now. And nobody's shy there, by the way. So you can kind of say whatever you want to. These folks that are on there do. And I appreciate it. So get on there, subscribe, and like that. But just listen, because we're going to talk Luka and we're going to talk blueprint for the San Antonio Spurs when we return right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Ready for the ultimate outdoor adventure? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star has your chance to win a getaway to Telluride, Colorado. Your prize package includes airfare and luxurious hotel accommodations for two, plus thrilling expeditions like fly fishing, kayaking, ATV rides, and more. And it could be all yours. Enter once per day at sasportstar.com. You must be 18 or older to play. This is an Alpha Media company-wide contest. One winner will be chosen. Complete rules at sasportstar.com. Don't miss out on the adventure of a lifetime. Enter now at sasportstar.com.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that? Call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. A letter in your mailbox says you could save money bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. You saw it after your teenager backed the car into the mailbox. Dumb news. A new mailbox, basically a box on a stick, costs up to $400. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and go with paperless mail instead. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
eBay Motors is here for the ride.
120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
At the UPS store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. Still get those orders shipped time. And still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open. And happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS store. Be unstoppable.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight. And you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool has been put away. Now's the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Let's go!
Hi, it's Jason Minix. You're listening to the home of the Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Our old buddy Jason Minix up there in the hills of Wyoming somewhere.
Snowy hills.
He sent can you believe that? It's like, dude.
You're vacationing wrong.
It's June, and you're going to Wyoming where it's snowing. Come on, brother. I can't even. I hate snow in the wintertime. Can you imagine June and it's you wake up and let's go build a snowman. This will be fun. Come on, kids, put your shorts on. Holy cow!
I will caveat. I went skiing, snowboarding, learned how to do that back in February. It was an amazing trip. Loved it.
February's fine. It's June. It's supposed to snow in February. It's June. It's not supposed to snow anywhere, is it? Right now, all I keep hearing about on all the national news and stuff where there's heat waves all over the place, except for Wyoming, apparently. There's no heat wave there at all. So, hey, I hope Minix is having a great time, getting a little R&R and rejuvenating himself. Maybe he'll have some better takes when he gets back. Yeah, who knows? And we can only hope, right? I'm Joe Ryan Eagle. That's James Pledger. Jason is off on vacation. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And so happy you guys are joining us today. Really appreciate you listening in and sharing your Tuesday with us. The weather's supposed to be kind of yucky. I know it's rained a little bit. Tomorrow's supposed to not be so good either. My good friend Bill Taylor from Ken's 5 will join us at 4:30 to talk about what's happening and how much rain we can expect and all of that stuff. It's always good to talk to Bill Taylor. Can't wait to do that. But I thought it was appropriate with a storm out in the Gulf brewing. It's supposed to get a name today, I guess. Maybe it has already. I'm not sure. But
So
yeah,
this is like a big deal.
Well, a tropical storm. I don't think it's supposed to be a hurricane by any stretch, but it will be the first named storm, I think. But we'll ask our good friend Billy T when he joins us coming up at 4:30. Charean Williams will also join us from Pro Football Talk at 5:15, like she does every Tuesday. Some interesting stuff going on with the Cowboys that has absolutely nothing to do with Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, or Micah Parsons. Something completely different. So we're going to discuss that with Charean coming up at 5:15. Right now, though, I want to talk about Luka Dončić. And I'm really curious to see what all of you think. Do you like Luka? Do you not like Luka? Do you think he's all he's going to be? Or do you think he will improve? Will he become one of, if not the best players in the NBA? I thought going into the finals, I honestly was convinced that Luka was at the worst the second best player in the league. And then Robert Horry kind of, corrected me, I guess, rightly so. So, yeah, he is that on the offensive side of the floor, but he doesn't play defense. And we found that out over the course of the finals. He's not a great defensive player, something he's got to improve. There's no question about that. But I think this guy has got some growing to do and will grow. And over the next couple of years, I think he will be even better than he is now on both ends of the floor. I don't know how he can get much better offensively, although last night he struggled. I don't think there was any question. I think Boston's defense had a lot to do with that. But Luka couldn't find the hole. Kyrie really couldn't find the hole. And it was just one of those nights for both of those guys, which the entire series, for the most part, was like that for both of those guys. Well, Chris Canty does a radio show. And Chris Canty chimed in on Luka Dončić, and I think joined the crowd that would like to hang Luka up by his heels and let him rot in the wind.
I think Luka Dončić is closer to Kevin Durant than he is Dirk Nowitzki. And I bring that up because the Mavs stayed the course with Dirk Nowitzki. They had the failure. They got to the finals, didn't work out. They were able to get back there eventually, and they beat LeBron James and Avs Miami Heat. They got that done. But we never questioned Dirk Nowitzki's work ethic. We never questioned his commitment to trying to improve his body and his game in order to contend in the championship rounds. We never questioned his disposition, his mentality. We're questioning all of those things with Luka. And those aren't recent questions if you listen to Brian Windhorst and others that have covered him since he was playing pro ball in Europe. Mm-hmm. These are things that have been coming up. These were never questions for Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. And that's why I don't know that Luka Dončić is going to be able to win a championship as the leader on a team. Now, can he be the best player on a championship team? Yes.
There's a difference.
Emphatically, yes. But I don't think that he's the guy that can be your leader in terms of setting the culture for your team to get over the hump and be a champion.
Chris Canty on his show, Unsportsmanlike, bringing those comments up. And look, Brian Windhorst, after that game 3, just completely ripped into Luka Dončić. And look, game 3 was a pathetic performance for Luka. And I mean that, the whining that he did and some of the other things as well. So the critique he got, I think, I thought it was a little bit over the top. I think maybe, you could make a case that it was fair. Now, Pete Estrada on our YouTube channel says, I don't like him because he feels entitled. And he is, in all caps, the biggest whiner. I'm still not sure he's the biggest whiner. I think LeBron James still holds that title.
I mean, with those two, it's splitting hairs. It's 1A and 1B.
So, yeah. So I think there are other whiners in the NBA. I'm not sure that Luka is that. We just saw him. LeBron's been on vacation for a long time. Luka, we've been watching him for quite a while now. And yes, he does whine a lot. Although, let me ask you a question. And I think this is a legit question. After the critique that he got after game 3, games 4 and 5, I think we saw a different guy. Did we not? Or was I just imagining that?
No, he was better.
He was better, right? Obviously, game 4 went perfectly for Dallas. So there was no reason for him to whine. Last night, I thought the refs for the most part, let those guys play. I thought there was some physical play out there. And I mean, people banging into each other and doing those things. And I appreciated the officiating job last night. I thought it was good for the most part. But I think he was a different player. And that tells me that I think that part of him, the whining, the entitlement, and all of that will go away. Look, guys that get to the finals and lose a lot of times are much better for it. Just ask Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They've been to the finals and lost, and they're better for it. Brown even came out saying that this was not the same Celtic team that they had heard, hearing the chirping from everywhere about how they're choke artists and how they can't get it done. And while we sit here and praise the Boston Celtics for winning the championship, and rightly so, you can't forget that it took them a while to get here. It took a lot of failures for the Celtics to finally hoist that banner. And so when I or somebody else says this team is overrated, we have every right to say that simply because they've proven it. They've proven that they can't get the job done. So, I mean, you can argue with me. You can, Fred Villarreal, I guess Derek White's not overrated. I guess the entire team is not overrated, but it took them a while to get there. And I like how they built this team. I really do. I like how they built this team, and I like the way that they play ball. It's defense first. It reminds me of the early 2000s, mid-2000s San Antonio Spurs, Detroit Pistons, teams like that were physical, that played team defense. It wasn't just one guy. It was the team that played defense. It was the team that got it done, and it was team first. Even though the Spurs had a superstar in Tim Duncan, he made it clear that it was team first, and that's how they won the 5 championships that they were able to win. The Boston Celtics, maybe they win another one, maybe they don't. They're going to have another opportunity. There's no question about it, but their run is impressive. Now, I will say it again till I'm blue in the face, and it's not taking anything away from Boston. They played who was in front of them with the players that were available to play. But they were 16-3 in the postseason, and they won last night by 18 points. That's impressive. No matter how you slice it, that is impressive. There's no question about it. But it's that front office and how they were built. And I bring that up because right now we're all in a debate about how the Spurs should rebuild around Victor Wembanyama. And when I look at the Boston Celtics, and I know it's apples and oranges, it's a little bit different, but to me, the Spurs have 2 guys to build around, Devin Vassell and Victor Wembanyama. Obviously, Wemby being the guy, but I think they do have that other guy in Devin Vassell. So you got 2 guys to build around. Same thing as the Boston Celtics. They had Brown, they had Tatum. And the Celtics were pretty patient with those 2 guys because it took a while. I had to remember, I'll be honest with you, and maybe you guys remember this, these guys have played together for 7 years.
Yeah.
7 years. Boy, time flew, right? And they tried a bunch of different things, a bunch of different matchups, a bunch of different players to try and build around those 2 guys. Sometimes you have to get lucky. And I think this year, the Celtics got lucky. Drew Holiday, Porzingis coming into the fold. And I think that made a huge difference, especially Holiday. That was, to me, the final piece to this puzzle that got the Boston Celtics the NBA championship. Now, Porzingis is a great player, but I don't have a lot of faith in that guy staying healthy. And it's not because I say so. It's just look at it. Maybe when he's on the floor, he's a great player. The problem is he's not on the floor that much. So is this a blueprint for the San Antonio Spurs to build a team around their 2 guys, which at the moment, I think those 2 guys are Devin Vassell and Victor Wembanyama?
Are you about to suggest what I think you're about to suggest?
I don't know, Pledge. Are you reading my mind?
Might be. Are you about to suggest the Spurs should build the same way an overrated team did?
Well, yes. It's exactly what I'm saying.
Why would you want to build a team like an overrated team?
Because I don't think the Spurs, number one, wouldn't last this long. It took the Celtics a long time to get it done. A long time to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
They got a long way in the playoffs. They did that. They had a lot of success in the postseason, but they could never get over the top. And they finally did. They finally found the pieces to build around. They didn't do it necessarily, although the draft was important, but they didn't do it through the draft necessarily. They put pieces around them, pieces that worked. Other players, like a Derek White, for example, which was a brilliant move for the Boston Celtics. I mean, you talk about adding a piece that you need that is a perfect piece for what you're trying to do. Derek White, Drew Holiday, another guy that is a perfect piece for what you are trying to do. So their front office went out and found those guys that paired them up with their two, the foundation pieces, if you will, in Tatum and Brown. And you see how they play ball. Because as Pop is famous for saying, you come to the Spurs, you leave your ego at the door. And most of the players that have been successful in San Antonio have done just that. What I see in that Boston Celtic team, and what's making me, well, obviously they won the championship, so they're the best team in the league this year. But they left their ego at the door. Brown didn't care if Tatum had success. Tatum doesn't care if Brown has success. Derek White certainly doesn't. And that's the beauty of this team. That's the beauty of what they wanted to do and what they finally were able to accomplish. And that's winning an NBA championship. And I think it's a great blueprint for this team. And I'll say it again. We can go out. The Spurs, the Spurs can go out. They can draft Castle at 4 and whoever else you want at 8 and bring them in and, let them sit, let them learn the game. And we'll just roll along and roll along and roll along. And it's going to take time. With the Celtics, it took time, but they had success in the meantime. They didn't bring in the stars and win 22 games again. They had success. They didn't win a championship, but they had success. They went to an NBA Finals. They went to 3 Eastern Conference Finals. They had success along the way. Spurs can do that, but I think you need a combination of the two. And it baffles me that we don't want to skip steps and we don't want to, get too far ahead of ourselves. And you know what? That free agent just might not work out. So we ought to stick to the draft. And it drives me nuts. Go ahead, Pledge. I know you're chomping at the bit.
No, I'm just wondering because you say we need to build like Boston, right? Well, Boston did use those draft picks to draft players like a Langford, who they traded for Derek White, like an Andrew Nembhard. Like they drafted the players with the picks that they had. They eventually traded them off, but they still got them at first before trading them out.
And guess what? They knew that those guys that they drafted weren't the guys that they needed.
Sure.
So they went out and did what they thought they had to do.
But if you're following the plan, you still have to use those picks before you get rid of them.
Well, perhaps you do. And look, in this case, this year, the Spurs have a golden opportunity to do just about whatever they want to do. 2 first-round picks. If they use them both on rookies, so be it. That will show me a lot. Now, because look, free agency, I don't think is the treasure trove this year. It's not.
It's not, but there is we always kind of gloss over the fact that free agency is also trade season in terms of sign and trades to get players off of rosters during that free agent period. So there's a wide pass during that free agent period that allows you to make moves that are unorthodox as to just true free agency.
Well, and you got to get lucky too. Let's face it, right? I mean, the Spurs were tanking. They were getting rid of their good players.
Well, remember the
And Derek White was one of those good players.
The Boston Celtics had the number 3 pick 2 years in a row that they used on Brown and Tatum.
Well, true. It was 7 years ago, right? I mean, it was a long time ago. And in the meantime, you meshed in players that fit. That's what I'm saying. You want to use those picks. Obviously, we use those picks on Devin Vassell. Use that pick on Victor Wembanyama, on Keldon Johnson, on Jeremy Sohan. The Spurs are using picks.
Mm-hmm.
And they're winning 22 games a year. So, I mean, one way is not the only way. And that's what I'm trying to say here. Everybody wants to say, be patient. Let's draft. Let's build through the draft. That doesn't always work. And in this case, I don't think it's going to work at all. And the Spurs have had draft picks. They've used them. But tell me anybody in there, except with the exception of Wemby, and I think Devin Vassell, who I think is going to be a big star, tell me, would you be willing to part with everybody else? I would, which tells me that, yeah, you draft and you hope you get lucky. You trade and hope you get lucky. You pay free agents and hope you get lucky. It doesn't always work. Either way you slice it. Stephen Castle may be the best guard the Spurs have ever had, or he may be a flop. Because I don't care what he did in college, and I'll say this about any pro sport. I don't care what any college player did in college. It does not mean that they're going to be a good NBA player. It doesn't. Or a good NFL player. And the list and the history goes on and on and on and on. You hope you get lucky no matter what you do, but you take swings. You can't get a base hit if you don't swing at the ball. You can't make a three-pointer if you don't shoot. There are more ways to win, more ways to do things than just one. And I think to be a successful franchise, which the Spurs have been by drafting and veteran players. They're just look at the 2000s, what they did, and the players that they brought in. And yes, the draft was a part of that as well. It can't be all one thing. It just can't be. You got to take the shot if you want to make the shot.
And there are crucial decisions that are made when doing something like that. You'll remember when the Spurs acquired Kawhi Leonard, it was at the expense of one of a fan favorite players in George Hill at the time.
That's exactly right.
The Boston Celtics did that with Marcus Smart.
Yep.
And with Robert Williams, two really great defenders that I thought were key pieces to that team that they ended up moving on from in order to accumulate what they needed to win this title to get over the top with Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis.
Well, let me tell you something, Pledge. Karma is a female dog, okay, for Marcus Smart. All right? Because he was supposed to be a Spur, remember? Yeah, and he spurned us for better pastures. So karma for one Marcus Smart is a female dog.
Who did he spurn us for?
He was supposed to be here. Let me, I'll have to research the history.
You're thinking Marcus Morris. The one that spurned us for the Knicks. He was originally going to sign.
Was it Marcus Morris?
It was Marcus Morris.
I stand corrected. I'll look that up.
It was one of the Morris
corrected.
twins.
All
He
right,
went to the Knicks.
I stand corrected. Absolutely. I'll stand corrected. Let's go to the phone lines because Manny's waiting here, and we're going to switch gears on the other side of the break, and I want to make sure Manny is heard. Manny, welcome to the Blitz.
Hey, Joe. Fletch, how you guys doing?
Good, man. Good. Thanks for the call.
Good. No, of course. Hey, if anything, I just want to get your thoughts on something. What I'm worried about with the Spurs is now that the Boston has won, I think Spurs are going to use both picks, and then they'll say, of course, we don't plan on being on the lottery ever again with Victor. So we want to get him people to grow with him and, and learn as a team. I have a feeling that's what they're going to do. I was thinking what your thoughts are on that.
Well, Manny, the only thing that I would think on that is, I mean, sincerely, exactly. How long is that going to take? That process. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news because everybody seems to think that Wemby is just a lock, that he's going to retire as a San Antonio Spur. That's not a lock, y'all. It's not. he will have opportunities in 4 or 5 years to venture off somewhere else. And everybody just seems to think that Wemby is a lifelong Spur. I hope he is. But I'm just saying that's not a guarantee. There's no guarantee that that's going to happen. So I don't want to wait 3 or 4 years. I just don't. And I think we can do better. I really do. And I hope y'all do as well. Y'all need to come around. By the way, did you see the play last night? Porzingis and I think it was P.J. Washington. Doris Burke had a little funny that she made during the broadcast at Caitlin Clark's expense. And guess what, y'all? The Edmonton Oilers boob girl is back. We'll talk about it for sure when the Blitz continues right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, though, I want to tell you about the Big Blind. Yeah, it's one of my favorite places, the Big Blind. It is the premier poker room in San Antonio, and it is by far the best in town. And I've been to a lot of them, and they just don't compare to the Big Blind. It's from the owners of the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, so you know that it's going to be good. It's locally owned, and they do all the good stuff about the Roo Pub, the Angry Elephant. Same thing with the Big Blind. It's just got that poker feel to it, right? And it's, well, of course, and that Vegas feel, I should say, to it. And it's not just poker. They have blackjack tournaments in there as well. And it's not just that. They have specials. You can get food in there. They have the great bar. They have TVs all over the place. It is a great place to go, whether you want to play poker, whether you're an expert or a beginner. There are tables for everybody. No judgment at all when you go into the Big Blind. Get in there if you haven't been in there. They have specials all the time, and you can check them out on Facebook. I'm looking at it right now. Just go to their Facebook page. There's all kinds of specials every single day at the Big Blind. Go check them out. You'll be happy that you did. And you know where it is. It's right down from the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, right there at 281 and Redland Road.
This is The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Hulu has movies. We're here to tell you again. Hulu has movies that will put you in the driver's seat like Ferrari, starring Adam Driver. Hulu has movies that will terrify you, like The First Omen plus the entire Omen franchise. Hulu has movies that will inspire you, like Origin, directed by Ava DuVernay. Hulu has movies that will make you hold on tight, like Bullet Train with Brad Pitt. We've said it before, and we will keep saying it. Hulu has movies, all kinds of movies. Come check them out on Hulu.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-880-6363. That's 1-800-880-6363. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-880-6363. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Have pain? Have chronic pain.
Low back pain, knee pain, neck pain, or shoulder pain, I can help. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we get to the root of your pain. We don't just give pain medications, we do the proper investigation to see what is the root cause, and it's covered by your insurance. Reduce your medication, avoid surgery, and get rid of pain for good. Call for your free evaluation. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, where we get to the root cause of your problem. 210-468-1891.
Testosterone levels in men can start to decrease as early as 30 years old, and long-term health risks can be extremely damaging to your body. Rock's Discount Vitamins carries a variety of natural testosterone boosters that can immediately provide you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improve your mood. Rock's Discount Vitamins natural testosterone boosters can even help you build muscle and lose weight faster. With 11 San Antonio locations, visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. Thanking God and South Texas for all the support.
Hey everybody, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks. It is my game of fun and fantasy, and it's time for the excitement for summer sports to begin. And I say the best way to take summer sports and have the fun with it is to take it to the next level with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. A community of over 5 million players. If you're not a member, I promise you know one. Prize Picks, it's about more or less. It's about playing the things that you know. You can make Prize Picks a daily game, a weekly game, do whatever you like, and you can do it fast. You can turn $10 into $1,000 in just a couple of seconds by playing Prize Picks. So get ready to enjoy the fantasy games that you love with the app that is available. And here's the key right now. If you use the code ALAMO, that's ALAMO, you'll get up to $100. Enter the code ALAMO at the Prize Picks app on your first deposit match of up to $100. You know the games are there. You're a fantasy player. Play them the right way. That's Prize Picks. Alamo today.
94.1 FM, San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, now that the NBA Finals are over, all attention will shift to the draft. It's going to happen 1 week from tomorrow. Spurs hold picks 4 and 8 in the first round, and of course, then it's free agency. Texas A&M, the Aggies are a win away from the College World Series final. They beat Kentucky last night. Up next for the Aggies, they'll face the winner of Kentucky and Florida tomorrow night at 6 o'clock.
Joe Reinagel.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope you're having a great day out there on this Tuesday afternoon in the greatest city on the planet, San Antonio, Texas. And all you folks in New Braunfels and San Marcos and Seguin and wherever you're listening to us, we appreciate it very much. Thanks for joining us and spending your day with us, or at least a little part of it, hopefully a lot of it. Thanks to everybody that's on our YouTube channel for chiming in and making comments. We appreciate you if you're driving around the city or wherever you happen to be going or what you're doing. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix, my partner, is on vacation. James Pledger is pushing all the buttons, making the music and all of that kind of stuff. So thank you again for joining us. What a day after ho-hum NBA Finals. I say ho-hum. It was fun to talk about, fun to get in the characters, and I'm glad it at least won an extra game. It wasn't a sweep. But it turned out good and gives us a lot to talk about and a lot of things to say. And I will say, you know, it's funny how you want to stand behind some of your arguments and then you're proven wrong, or teams do things that surprise you. The Boston Celtics surprised me. They certainly did. So congratulations to the Boston Celtics and their championship. And we'll get ready because I think the NBA season starts next week. I'm not sure. It's the longest season in the history of longest seasons. Seems like it goes on forever and ever and ever. But we will get ready for the draft. That it will take place a week from tomorrow. So we'll see what the Spurs do with those first round picks that they have, the 4th and the 8th. Will they use them? Will they trade them? And we'll go from there. It's going to be interesting to find out because I have not seen a mock draft. I'll be honest with you, that not one that looks like the other. They're all different. They all are different. And that goes for every team, not just the Spurs. So we'll see. We'll finally get to see what happens next Wednesday night. But this time of day, typically right here on the Blitz, we do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
It is the Headline Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And watched the game last night. I think it was in the second quarter that this happened. P.J. Washington and Kristaps Porzingis kind of got into a little bit of a tussle, if you will. And Washington pulled Porzingis down right on the floor. And, it's a basketball play, right? A little bit of chippiness. And see, we don't make a big deal out of that when it happens in the NBA, like we make a big deal out of it as it's happening now in the WNBA. But Doris Burke, who, by the way, I think does a really good job in the broadcast booth. Me personally, I like her. I think she's got a lot of great insight, and I enjoy it. So Doris Burke took that moment between Porzingis and Washington to have a little fun.
Just throws him down. Crowd reacting to the replay on the big screen. Washington just trying to send a little message, play some physical basketball.
If that were Caitlin Clark, it might spark a debate for a week.
I think she was joking, but it's true. If that would have happened, if Angel Reese would have been P.J. Washington and pulled Caitlin Clark down, we'd be calling for a suspension. We'd be saying they're jealous, they're petty, they're this, they're that. And we would be talking about it for a week. So she's absolutely right. I think it was a little tongue-in-cheek, a little joke, but probably right on the money. But let me ask you this question. And again, we talked about this yesterday, but I think it's worth bringing up every day because the numbers just keep coming out. The game between the Sky and the Fever, Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark, was the WNBA's biggest rating TV-wise in 23 years. 23 years. So tell me it ain't working. And all I've got to say is, look, if Angel Reese wants to play the villain, if that's her role, if that's the one that she does, and Caitlin Clark is, just doing her thing, so be it. This is so good for the WNBA. Biggest ratings in 23 years. Now, that's not all Caitlin Clark. Big chunk of it is. But a big chunk of it is that rivalry that's developing and has developed between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. And I just think it is fascinating. Fascinating. The people that are tuning in, the curiosity of folks that maybe have never watched the WNBA before. And so that's why I don't understand our colleagues, Pledges and mine, in the media trying to cause a rift and make this out to be something that I just don't think that it is. I don't. Enjoy the ratings. Enjoy whoever you are on the Sky team that has been in the WNBA and been playing, and you complain that nobody's watching. Guess what? They're watching now. They're watching you now. Enjoy that. Embrace that. They are watching you now. So embrace it. I'm happy for the WNBA. We'll see. But Doris Burke was funny, and, it was cool. Remember the Edmonton Oilers, right? They may be knocked out of the Stanley Cup finals tonight. It's possible. I think it's a 3-1 lead for Florida in that particular thing. Now, maybe a reason why is they haven't had their biggest cheerleader. And remember Boob Girl? The girl that was in the stands who lifted her shirt up and showed us all her glory. Well, she kind of went into hiding. A lot of people liked her. A lot of people didn't like her, but she went into hiding. She finally came out and on social media addressed the haters.
Oilers girl. Actually, my name's Kate, but here we are. So I've thought long and hard about what I wanted to say to everybody. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm at one of my favorite places right now. Come here to do some thinking, we'll call it. But I just wanted to say, you could be the most perfect, godly person in the world. You could save kittens from a river if they were drowning. Someone's still going to hate you. So you know what? At the end of the day, I got drunk and whipped my out at an Oilers game and they went viral. You if you don't like it.
Whoa.
Woo! Go Oilers.
Whoa. The Oilers just might come back and win the whole damn thing now.
Yeah, by the way, her name's not Boob Girl. It's Katie.
Well, it's Boob Girl, okay? Katie, the Boob Girl.
She's got a name.
Yeah, Katie, the Boob Girl. I think it's kind of cool that you go into hiding. You see all the haters out there. Honestly, who cares enough that this woman flashed everybody that's going to get on and hate her on social media? I don't understand that. And maybe I'm just kind of a deviant, I guess, for lack of a better word. I kind of enjoyed the show. Harmless fun. I don't think it certainly didn't hurt anybody. She clearly, if she wants to do that again, who am I to say no? I mean, my goodness. It's a free country. I think even in Canada, it's a free country. So we'll see if Katie or Kate is Katie or Kate, Pledge.
Apparently, according to her, it was Katie.
Katie.
Oilers girl. Actually, my name's Kate, but
Kate.
Here we are. So I've thought long and hard about what I.
Now,
Kate.
What I find funny about this, and anybody listening is probably not old enough to remember the movie Valley Girl. Anybody remember that movie, Valley Girl? Does this girl not sound like a Canadian version of the Valley Girl? I just got to say, about. She's got both going. She's got the Valley Girl thing going and the Canadian accent. About. I just want to say, oh, sorry, I crack myself up sometimes. I think it was funny. Pledge, play that one more time, will you?
Oilers girl. Actually, my name's Kate, but
Actually,
here we are. So I've thought long and hard about what I wanted to say to everybody. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm at one of my favorite places right now. Come here to do some thinking, we'll call it. But I just wanted to say, you could be the most perfect, godly person in the world. You could save kittens from a river if they were drowning. Someone's still going to hate you. So you know what? At the end of the day, I got drunk and whipped my out at an Oilers game and they went viral. You if you don't like it. Woo! Go Oilers.
Tell them what it's a boot, Kate.
Dude, I hope that this woman, it makes a lot of money. I'm telling you, I love that. She wants to show her boobs in public. Why not? She got every right to. Girl, you go. You flash anybody you want to flash. I think it's A-okay. I don't think anybody should say a word. Flash away. Get it done. The boob girl from Edmonton, Kate. She's going to forever be known about that. I wonder, so Edmonton, they had to put up a sign. Kate, the boob girl, lives here. Oh, my goodness. Good for her. I hope she makes a lot of money. And y'all stop hating on poor Kate, the boob girl. Goodness gracious, just trying to entertain all of us. That's all. That's all she wants to do is be an entertainer. You know who else is an entertainer? In my mind, Jerry Jones. Well, we've got some Cowboys news today that has nothing to do with Dak Prescott, nothing to do with CeeDee Lamb, has nothing to do with Micah Parsons, has everything to do with Jerry Jones and him taking a shot at the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll let you know what happened when we return right here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, though, I want to tell you about Stevens Roofing. Love Stevens Roofing. And, hey, it is supposed to rain for the next couple of days. And I know with the tropical system out in the Gulf, that can bring thunderstorms, hail, all of that kind of stuff. So you want to write down Stevens Roofing number and keep it handy just in case. Stevens Roofing, there is only one name in roofing that stands high above the rest. That is Stevens Roofing, because look, a quality roof overhead by Stevens Roofing means comfort. It means confidence, and it certainly means peace of mind. It is protection for all the things that you love. If you're in the market for repairs, a replacement roof, an upgrade, or if you think you might have hail damage, you need to work with the experienced team that brings local roots, value, and a vast knowledge of the craft to every job. That is Stevens Roofing. Remember the phone number, 210-785-0994. You can also get them online at stevensroofing.net. Look, they've been in business for a long time here in San Antonio and South Texas, and they're not going anywhere. And that means they keep their word and they do great work. Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994.
San Antonio Sports Star.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? ROLAIDS.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
ROLAIDS.
Fourth cup of coffee?
Still ROLAIDS.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
What seems to be the problem?
Doctor, thank goodness. My husband found out Cricket Wireless has 5G plans starting at $15 a month, and his jaw just dropped.
Did he hear about Cricket's blazing fast 5G?
Yep.
What about their reliable nationwide coverage?
Yes, that too.
I see. Unfortunately, there's no cure. But you will have really fast 5G.
Get jaw-droppingly fast 5G for $15 a month. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Video may be limited to SD. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. Subject to change. See store for details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbors said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
You want another way to add excitement to watching the NBA playoffs? Jason Minix here. Let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. It is a fan favorite way to play fantasy sports, especially playing the Pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your Pick'em entry, and all you have to do is select higher or lower on player stats. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. Endless projections to choose from. It is fantasy, and it is legal in Texas. So get started by going to the easy-to-use Underdog Fantasy mobile app or go to the website underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR, and Underdog will give you a mystery special pick to use on your first Pick'em entry and a deposit offer. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, sign up using my promo code STAR at underdogfantasy.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
This is AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6 for the perfect ride to work on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Yeah, be sure to tune in to the Morning Huddle every morning at 6 o'clock with AJ and Rob. Those guys get after it. Have some interesting things to say.
Yeah.
From time to time, for sure. Hey, and don't forget on Thursday, we judge meat on Thursday, every Thursday at 6 o'clock. Grilling with the Blitz. So if you've done some barbecuing or you're going to do that over the next couple of days, be sure and upload those pictures to sasportstar.com, because every week you got a shot at winning $50, a gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. It's called Grilling with the Blitz. We do it every Thursday right here on 94.1.
Did you happen to hear AJ and Rob this morning?
Pieces, yes, I did.
They made me want to throw my phone a little bit this morning.
Oh, is that right?
It's more Brock Purdy slander.
Brock Purdy slander? What's the matter with those guys? You know, they all...
I'm done with the Brock Purdy slander.
Yes. Yes. Well, you know, I am too, for goodness sake. And that's a topic for another time, but they also said something about Kristaps Porzingis that I didn't agree with this morning. That, you know, they would take him in a heartbeat, but they know they've got to have a plan B. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So I need two players for one.
I mean, it still makes sense, though.
It makes no sense. The guy can't stay on the floor. You can have him. I wouldn't want him.
I mean, he's a champion.
What? Yeah, he is a champion. Kristaps Porzingis. He's having surgery, by the way.
Still played through it.
Not really. What did he play last night? 10 minutes?
16.
16, huh?
16 very important minutes.
He didn't do much. He got in a fight with P.J. Washington. They got us talking about the WNBA all over again, which the WNBA appreciates, I'm sure. Has anybody been keeping track? And you probably haven't, because there's been no coverage of it at all. This NFL Sunday ticket trial that's going on. It's complicated, certainly. But a big part of what's being talked about is that the NFL, which currently has a broadcast antitrust exemption, all right, which means that basically they control who broadcasts and they control the contracts of who broadcasts games each and every Sunday. That includes the Sunday ticket, right? But if they would lose that, for example, if that happens, if that would ever happen, then each individual team would have the opportunity to go out and make their own TV deal. So, for example, say, I don't know, Ken's here in San Antonio. If they did that, they wanted to go pay Jerry Jones a boatload of money, they could say, we're going to carry every one of your games, and we're going to do that here on Ken's 5, and that's exclusive. Well, you know what I'm talking about. Anything. The Longhorn Network was an example of that. The Notre Dame, the Domers, they're an example of that with NBC. So it kind of gives you an example of what I'm talking about and what we're talking about somewhat, or some of the consequences that could happen in this particular trial. Well, Jerry Jones, and ProFootballTalk.com is the only place I've seen this today, was actually testifying yesterday in this trial. And Jerry said, look, if this happened, the Cowboys would be rolling in high cotton, because we would make a boatload of money. People would be flocking to broadcast our football games, and they would. He's absolutely right by that. He said the problem is there are teams out there that wouldn't have the same interest. And he specifically mentioned the Cincinnati Bengals. And I just wonder how that's going to play out. His exact quote, by the way, was, I am convinced I would make a lot more money than the Bengals. And he's not lying. It's absolutely true that he would. And there's other teams out there. How about the Jacksonville Jaguars? How much money would they make?
Carolina Panthers.
Carolina Panthers is another one. And that's what I'm saying. So it wouldn't be good for the NFL overall if they lost their broadcast antitrust exemption. So Jerry Jones testifying on this. And I really wish we got a lot more coverage on this, but we're not for some reason. The fact that Jerry Jones was testifying in a trial yesterday that had nothing to do with him necessarily, but had to do with football, with the NFL, and we don't get more coverage than this is really kind of baffling to me. So we'll continue to watch that. But Jerry taking a shot directly at Cincinnati, but it's a shot that I think is appropriate because he's absolutely right. And Cincinnati knows it. They absolutely know it.
In that part of the beauty of the NFL is, other than local market games of whatever market you're in, if you're out of town and you're in Vegas, you're watching a Raiders game, whatever it may be, right? Other than local market, you're kind of forced to watch any and everything that they choose to throw at you on a weekly basis. Normally, they're top games, depending what network it's on.
Yeah.
And it's helped to grow the game to where we care about the entirety of the league more so than just our specific teams, like the regional sports networks in baseball and basketball and stuff like that.
Well, and that's a fair argument. And I would say that for me, and there's a lot of reasons for that too, but for me, I'd watch any NFL football game. I'm a huge fan of the NFL, but look, and the NFL is embracing this. Fantasy football and gambling have probably done more for the NFL than any other sport. And you could watch, and I at one time, I don't do it anymore, but at one time I had the Sunday ticket, and I did that for fantasy football reasons. I plopped down I think at that time it was $350 a year for the entire season. That way I could watch whatever game one of my stars was playing in, whether he played for Cleveland or Jacksonville or whomever. Didn't matter because I knew I wouldn't be able to watch that. But if I really needed this guy, I was watching him.
Thank you, Red Zone.
Well, sure, absolutely. But the NFL needs to control this because it won't be good for the league overall. And, I've heard people complain that ESPN wanted to get the Sunday ticket and give it to everybody for $75. That would have been great. Would have been great. The NFL said no. The big bad NFL that makes all this money said no. Well, get pissed off at them and then get over it because you know where you're going to be on Sunday afternoon. So it's just, that's the way it is. You don't like it, now that's okay, but it is the way that it goes. The Cowboys are also involved in a sponsorship deal, and I found this fascinating today on Pro Football Talk, which covers the NFL better than anybody. Charean Williams will join us at about 5:15 with a slot machine company. A slot machine company. Now, that's fascinating and leads me to believe the Mavericks sold their team, Mark Cuban, to the owners of the Sands in Las Vegas. And they own another hotel, which in turn, they turned around and bought all the land that the old Texas Stadium used to sit on. They didn't do that out of the kindness of their heart. They did that because they know something. So I think it's just a matter of time. Now you got the Cowboys getting involved with a slot machine company. I think it's just a matter of time until we have gambling in the state of Texas.
Are you saying your prayers are about to be answered?
Well, I hope so, yes. And I will continue to pray until that happens. Other Cowboys news really quick before we wrap up here this segment. Cowboys have signed a couple of players, both out of the UFL. Yeah, one of those guys is linebacker Willie Harvey Jr. Now, we talked about Willie Harvey. He was the leading tackler in the UFL this year. And the Cowboys had him in. They worked him out. They also worked out Charean Conley, who was a high draft pick, right, Pledge, out of Ohio State.
First-round draft pick.
Yeah.
By the Raiders.
Defensive back.
Mm-hmm.
And this year he played for the D.C. Defenders. He played for the Texans for a minute, didn't he?
He did. 2019, he was traded to Houston for midseason, one of Bill O'Brien's. He wasn't bad in Houston. He wasn't, a shutdown great, but he was a run-of-the-mill corner.
Well, obviously, look, both of these picks, although you never know who, look at Devontae Turpin, right? He's worked out. You never know.
Brandon Aubrey.
Brandon Aubrey. you never know who these guys might work out. But obviously, it's for training camp depth at this point in time. I mean, it's nothing more than that at this point in time. Now, if they show well and in training camp, then you never know. It may turn into something else, but we'll see. Obviously, especially Conley there is, number one first-round draft pick. A lot of talent out of Ohio State.
And is he just training camp roster filler, or is he potential threat to a guy like Nashawn Wright, who has shown nothing in his time since being drafted?
Well, the Cowboys hope so. I mean, look, any team that brings in a player hopes that player will develop into something, a diamond in the rough, you will. And that's what they're hoping. The Cowboys do the same thing with Trey Lance. Same thing. They're hoping that he would develop into something valuable. Same thing with both of these guys or anybody. But it's not just the Cowboys. It's everybody. They hope beyond hope that they've uncovered a diamond in the rough that can improve their football team. So,
I mean, they are 2 for 2. Although they should give somebody a little bit of credit for helping with the Brandon Aubrey fight.
Well, they should, and they're tied in too. Ferguson.
Well, he didn't come out of the UFL though.
Well, no, he didn't, but still. I saw the guy and obviously, went woo. Guys turned into something. Micah Parsons said today, guy's going to be an all-pro many times over.
Burgerlicious definition make them boys go crazy.
Yeah. We'll see. They can certainly need him this year. Goodness sake. He's like the second best receiver on the team at this point in time.
Yeah, so, I could agree with that.
I mean, he is. I don't think there's any question unless some of these other guys step up. Brandon Cooks still hadn't gotten going. Look, I like Brandon Cooks, and I think maybe he will, but the Jalen's haven't done anything. So we'll see what the Cowboys do between now and training camp, but it's going to be interesting. That offense needs some help. Let's just put it that way. Cowboys in the news, nothing to do with Dak, CD, or Micah. And I thought that was very interesting, especially Jerry Jones taking a shot at the Cincinnati Bengals. It's just the truth, and sometimes the truth hurts. Like, for example, when you pick a team to win in the NBA Finals and they get beat 4-1, you have to accept that truth. And maybe you have to accept the truth that Boston's not as overrated as maybe some people thought that they were at the beginning of these finals. I don't know who that guy is. We'll find him and give him a tongue lashing. All right, when we come back, right here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday, when we return, we will talk baseball. The Aggies are still playing, but are they undefeated? We'll get into it.
And less than a week away from the NBA draft, let's take a look again at what the Spurs may be doing. Morning Huddle will start up at 6 right here on 94.1.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're into riveting crime series, Hulu has what you want to see this month. Stream Mastermind, To Think Like a Killer, the story of the woman who invented modern serial killer profiling. Then get your fix with The Perfect Wife, based on a bizarre real-life kidnapping. And don't miss Cult Massacre, the definitive documentary on the 1978 Jonestown Massacre. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to Hulu and catch all this and so much more.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textblend.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Replace stopped, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Homeowners, ready to replace your windows or patio doors, but think it's going to be too expensive? Well, think again, because with Renewal by Andersen, you can get top quality, affordable windows and patio doors for no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Just text LONG to 200-300 right now for your free in-home window consultation and free price quote. Upgrade your home with new energy-efficient in windows and doors installed by certified master installers from Renewal by Andersen and get their best in the nation 20-year warranty. Renewal by Andersen is the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. Act now and get your windows and patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text LONG to 200-300. Text the word LONG to 200-300. Don't wait. Text LONG to 200-300.
You know, living here in San Antonio and South Texas, a water softener is almost a requirement. The water is hard. You know this. It affects your appliances and all of that kind of stuff. And the best water softener to buy is a Connecticut quality water softener. Connecticut's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. They're made in America, up to 80% more efficient than competing models. Got a simple design, fewer moving parts, and the best thing about it is there's nothing to plug in. There won't be an increase in your electric bill. Connecticut quality water softeners are the best in the business, and right now they have got the best deal for you. Connecticut is going to let you try a quality water softener in your home for 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. Call them today. 656-PURE. That's 656-7873 or ConnecticutSA.com. You know the jingle. Sing it with me. Connecticut, the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Connecticut.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Bourbon and Brews is heading south for the summer, but don't worry. We're now introducing Twin Peaks Tequila and Cervezas. It's a fiesta every Friday at Twin Peaks with samples of our favorite tequilas and cervezas all summer long. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, and oh, those scenic views.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
This is AJ Hoffman for the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6 for the perfect ride to work on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It's like AJ Hoffman sound like Dick Van Dyke or something with that music in there. In one of those old sitcoms like, I don't know, the Brady Bunch, right? Da-na-na-na. But that music kind of sounded like Adam 12 or I don't know. Half the people listening probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Old sitcoms, way back when. Old sitcoms. Oh, my goodness. Hi, everybody. It is Tuesday. I hope you're having a great Tuesday afternoon. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix, my partner, is on vacation this week. Hope he's having a great time. But James Pledger is here, pushing all the buttons and making this thing move down the tracks. I love, your comments about Jake Ferguson. I got everybody, saying I like tight ends and stuff like that. And I had to chime in and Canadian boobs. You got to like that too. And if you weren't with us earlier, the Canadian boob lady, Katie, has come out of hiding and told all her haters to go jump in the lake with some other adjectives like that. Other gizzards, other colorful words. Like gizzards, yes. Dude. Gizzards. That is just awful. Awful. Today I was at Bush's Chicken. And I don't know why you people or some people like gizzards. Gizzards. They're just awful. But this dude, the fry cook behind the counter, was dumping gizzards down all over the place. And people were actually taking them and I guess eating them somewhere. I don't get it. They look like fried little poop balls. Gizzards. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it was bad. But the chicken strips were good. It's Tender Tuesday. And so that's kind of become a habit here at the radio station, Tender Tuesday, which is pretty good. Kind of like that. The NBA season's over. It's done. All over until, October, I think, or whenever training camps get underway again. It won't be too long. The draft is coming up a week from tomorrow, and we'll see what the Spurs are going to do finally, because I'll be honest with you, it's hard to look at some of these mock drafts and take any of them seriously. And I think this draft is pretty typical of most. You know, last year, obviously, the first and the second pick were known. We know that Spurs were going to take Wemby, and you knew Portland was going to take Scoot Henderson. So, and that happened, and you even knew the third pick as well. So, it was a no-brainer. This year, it is. I mean, there's a lot of different mock drafts that have 3 different, 4 different, 5 different opinions as to who's going to take whom at what particular spot. That's why I have to believe that there's going to be some wheeling and dealing in this draft. I just don't think it's going to go chalk. I don't think it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on down the line. I think there's going to be some moves made in this particular draft just because how erratic it's been. And so it wouldn't surprise me. So we'll see what happens. A couple of teams that won't be drafting for a long time are the Boston Celtics and, of course, the Dallas Mavericks. They played in the NBA Finals, and it was the Boston Celtics winning the title 4-1. Jaylen Brown wins the MVP award. And I think what's interesting there is I think you could make a case for certainly Jason Tatum, for Drew Holiday. Somebody earlier said Derek White. I'm not sure, but at least 3 of those guys, I think you could make a pretty intelligent argument for any of those 3. Now, Derek White, my favorite move last night was him getting smashed into the floor and losing a couple of teeth. But that's the kind of team that they are. And they went on to win this thing. And Jaylen Brown wins the MVP. And I tell you what, it's almost like, listen to him, it's almost like a rock came off of his shoulder.
I can't even put into words the emotions, it's just I'm blessed and I'm grateful. This was a full team effort. We had a great team. My teammates were great, allowed me to lead us on both ends of the ball. And we came out and just performed on our home floor. It was just amazing. And it could have gone to anybody. It could have gone to Jason. Jason, I can't talk enough about his selflessness. I can't talk enough about his attitude and his just how he approached not just this series or the finals, but just the playoffs in general. And we did it together as a team. And that was the most important thing.
And you know what I love about that last statement? We did it together as a team. And he was happy about that. He was happy about that. I think we get lost sometimes in anointing the superstars and wondering what they're doing versus what the entire team is doing. And I think, at least for me, the Boston win, the way that they played, really brought it back to team basketball. Defense, relying on each other, knowing where the other guys are when they're supposed to be there. And I thought it was good. And nobody sums that up any better than Jason Tatum, who is thrilled for his partner, Jaylen Brown.
Well-deserved. Extremely happy for him. This is a hell of an accomplishment. The main goal for us was to win a championship. We weren't we didn't care who got Finals MVP. I know that I need him through this journey, and he needs me. It was great to see him have that moment and share that moment with him. I'm extremely happy for him. Well deserved. That was big time. He earned that.
Yeah, see, and I love that. And how can you not like those guys? Honestly, I've been chanting overrated since this whole thing started. I think they had a pretty easy run. But again, you got to sit back and look, because there's been other teams to win championships that had a pretty easy run. All right, so I got to get over that, I suppose. I think Indiana might have been the best team that they faced. As it turned out, they certainly seemed to give them the hardest time, matched up well against them. And quite frankly, I thought Indiana should have won a couple of those games in that series. But it didn't happen. They got through them. Dallas, a lot of people like me didn't give Boston a chance to win in Dallas or against Dallas, and they did. So it's you got to give them the credit. You have to. They're holding up the trophy. You got to give them the credit. I don't think they're going to go down as one of the best teams to ever win a title, but they got it done. Their record was very good, and for now, they are the champions, and you got to pay them all the respect in the world. As far as Luka Dončić goes, boy, he's been getting hammered, completely hammered. After game 3, everybody got onto him because, he was crying to the officials. He fouled out of that game when his team needed him the most, in a game that they could have won, quite frankly, had he stayed in. There were 4 minutes to go, and I don't think the Mavericks, they were down, 5-6 points at that particular time, so it was still a ball game. But you knew once he went out of the game, it was over. It was all done. And he got hammered. Brian Windhorst was a guy that just laid it on him after that completely. Well, after this game, it was somebody else, Chris Canty. What's the name of the show? Unsportsmanlike, right, Pledge? Okay. Unsportsmanlike. They were talking about Luka Dončić this morning. Chris Canty, this is what he thinks of Luka.
I think Luka Dončić is closer to Kevin Durant than he is Dirk Nowitzki. And I bring that up because the Mavs stayed the course with Dirk Nowitzki. They had the failure. They got to the finals. Didn't work out. They were able to get back there eventually. They beat LeBron James and Avs Miami Heat. They got that done. But we never questioned Dirk Nowitzki's work ethic. We never questioned his commitment to trying to improve his body and his game in order to contend in the championship rounds. We never questioned his disposition, his mentality. We're questioning all of those things with Luka. And those aren't recent questions if you listen to Brian Windhorst and others that have covered him since he was playing pro ball in Europe. Mm-hmm. These are things that have been coming up. These were never questions for Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. And that's why I don't know that Luka Dončić is going to be able to win a championship as the leader on a team. Now, can he be the best player on a championship team? Yes.
There's a difference.
Emphatically, yes. But I don't think that he's the guy that can be your leader in terms of setting the culture for your team to get over the hump and be a champion.
And so we ought to just throw the guy out. Just, get somebody else in here and be a leader and let Luka just, roll along the way Luka does, just being a chunky Euro and drinking beer and eating pretzels and fish sticks, for goodness sake.
To be fair on Canty's part, I don't think anything he said about who he's been is inaccurate. I think the most out-of-pocket thing that he said was that he will never be able to change who he is.
Well, and that's completely inaccurate, and I agree with you. See, we're looking at this from a perspective. I don't know what Canty said 3 weeks ago. I don't know what Canty said after Dallas beat Oklahoma City. I don't know what Canty said after they beat Minnesota. So was Canty saying this then? Or was he saying, Luka Dončić, this guy, he's great? Because I have a feeling that's what he was saying. And that's what bothers me. Now it's easy to pile on. It's really easy to criticize this guy because he failed in the NBA Finals. A lot of great players, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, have failed in the NBA Finals. I know the difference because everybody says he's out of shape. He whines and moans and cries. But I saw a guy after Game 3 that was a different player. His attitude was different. His demeanor was different. And for anybody to suggest that this guy can't be a leader and change is just ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. And so I would love to know what Chris Canty said about Luka Dončić 2-3 weeks ago, or anybody else, Brian Windhorst, what he was saying about Luka Dončić 3 weeks ago. I mean, you know, it's easy for us to forget what they said then and just listen to them now and just move about our day. That's the problem that I have. And so until I know that, it's hard for me to give Chris Canty any credit or say I agree with him. I want to know what you said about him. Because look, I know he is different. But a lot of players in the NBA are different these days. A lot of players are different than they used to be. And I sit here, back in my day, which wasn't that long ago, I mean, the basketball that I used to enjoy is not even close to the basketball that they play today. It's not even close. It's a completely different game until I saw the Boston Celtics play defense the way they play defense, play physical basketball the way they play physical basketball, reminded me a lot of back in my day. The early 2000s, the mid 2000s. Those were the good old days, Pledge. The good old days.
To be fair, Jordan never failed in the finals.
No.
He failed getting there. He never failed in them.
Fair enough. He failed. Everybody that gets somewhere typically has failed along the way. And so he failed. He was called, he's just a great athlete. He will never lead a team to a title.
Can't. He's not physical enough. He plays in the air.
Exactly.
He's too ballerina-like.
That was the critique on Michael Jordan. That was it. So we can all say the Kansas City Chiefs got a C- draft grade when they drafted Patrick Mahomes. It's funny how we all have an opinion, and I love it that we do. I'm very happy that we do. It doesn't mean we're always right. And I'm certainly not right about the Boston Celtics. I have to change my tune. They proved it. They succeeded after failing in the finals once, in their conference finals a couple of times, and so on and so forth. Sometimes it takes failure to make you a better whatever. And you can put any kind of career, profession, sport, doesn't matter. Sometimes failure is the greatest teacher, and that's the way it is. And we can only hope, and only time will tell, if Luka Dončić learns from his failure in this NBA Finals. We'll see. Having said that, let's rank some football players. What do you say? Let's do that, because our opinion matters. And it doesn't matter what I said 3 weeks ago. It only matters what I say today, and we're going to rank the top 100 NFL football players.
Oh, that's a lot.
Whether you like it or not, here we go. Right here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding I-10 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM, Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com. If you travel as much as the San Antonio sports guys travel, while you're on the road, be sure to take us along. Listen to the 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star live stream anywhere on the Odyssey radio app.
Hey everybody, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks. It is my game of fun and fantasy, and it's time for the excitement for summer sports to begin. And I say the best way to take summer sports and have the fun with it is to take it to the next level with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. A community of over 5 million players. If you're not a member, I promise you know one. Prize Picks, it's about more or less. It's about playing the things that you know. You can make Prize Picks a daily game, a weekly game, do whatever you like like, and you can do it fast. You can turn $10 into $1,000 in just a couple of seconds by playing Prize Picks. So get ready to enjoy the fantasy games that you love with the app that is available. And here's the key right now. If you use the code ALAMO, that's Alamo, you'll get up to $100. Enter the code ALAMO at the Prize Picks app on your first deposit match of up to $100. You know the games are there. You're a fantasy player. Play them the right way. That's Prize Picks. Alamo today.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Homeowners, ready to replace your windows or patio door? Think it's going to be too expensive? Well, think again, because with Renewal by Andersen, you can get top quality, affordable windows and patio doors for no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Just text LONG to 200-300 right now for your free in-home window consultation and free price quote. Upgrade your home with new energy-efficient windows and doors installed by certified master installers from Renewal by Andersen and get their best in the nation 20-year warranty. Renewal by Andersen is the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. Act now and get your windows and patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text LONG to 200-300. Text the word LONG to 200-300. Don't wait. Text LONG to 200-300.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
The innovation you've been waiting for is here. The Big Cheez-It Crunchwrap Supreme and Tostada from Taco Bell. Built on the 16X Cheez-It platform with the first flavor matrix stable enough to make a Cheez-It Tostada possible and cheesy enough to power a Crunchwrap. Because if you want to change the world, you have to bring something big to the table. Think big and order the Big Cheez-It Crunchwrap Supreme and Tostada from Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for participation which varies.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan sea salt body wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
Company vehicle accidents are on the rise, and as a result, serious injury and deaths are on the rise as well. A company vehicle is any car, truck, van, SUV, bus, or fleet vehicle that is used for business purposes. If you or a loved one has been in an accident with a company vehicle, call Thomas J. Henry. We handle serious company vehicle accidents and get serious results. Call Thomas J. Henry today. Available 24/7, nights and weekends. San Antonio, Texas.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
How about those Texas A&M Aggies? They're just a win away from the College World Series final after beating Kentucky last night 5-1. Up next for the Aggies, they'll face the winner of the Kentucky-Florida game tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Well, now that the NBA season is over, the focus can shift to the NBA draft. That will happen 1 week from tomorrow. Spurs hold picks 4 and 8 in the first round, and then, of course, we're looking at free agency.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. We certainly are. I'm Joe Reinagel. James Pledger is in the glass box of fun. My partner, Jason Minix, is on vacation this week, so getting a little R&R and rest and recovery and all that kind of stuff, and he'll be back with us next week. So happy you guys are here, though. Really happy you're here and participating in the show. Certainly everybody on our YouTube channel is. Look, if you haven't been to the YouTube channel, you need to go. You talk about characters. There's a bunch of characters on our YouTube channel. It's a nice little community of characters in there, and it's a lot of fun. They've got a lot of good comments and all of that kind of stuff. We appreciate you joining us on Twitter as well, at Joe Reinagel 210. Had a couple of comments there as well, and so we appreciate that. And if you're out driving around, you can always do it the old-fashioned way. You just pick up the phone and call, and you can get involved in what we're doing here on the Blitz. 210-656-ESPN. That's 656-3776. Anything that's on your mind. We've been talking a little bit of Jerry Jones, a lot of NBA Finals, some Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, all kinds of stuff that you can chime in on. That's for sure. Feel free to do that. I wanted to talk about something that I saw today, though. And I think everybody on our YouTube channel thinks that this is my list of 100. It's not.
You did say we're going to rank them.
Did I say, well, we're going to read how Pete Prisco ranked them, and we can chime in, Pledge, and agree or disagree. Now, Pete Prisco, if you're not familiar with him, he works for CBS on their website. And typically what this guy will do, which is I find interesting, is he's a big gambler, right? So during the NFL season, you go there and he'll make his picks, and sometimes he's really good, sometimes he's not, kind of like all of us. But that's just kind of the way that it goes. Well, he ranked his top 100 players, and obviously I would love to hear from all of you as to whether you agree or not. Now, Prisco is been around for a long time, and he starts out with somebody that nobody's going to argue with, Patrick Mahomes. Best player in the NFL. I don't think there's any question about that. The guy's proven he can win with stars, without stars. He just gets it done. 3 Super Bowls. He's been to 4. Lost 1. He failed once. Poor Patrick Mahomes. Best player in the NFL. Certainly the best quarterback in the NFL. Now, here's where I may disagree. Who would you pick second best in the NFL? And I know there's a lot of players, and it's hard to go through your brain and it computes and whoever that is. But I guess I could see this guy.
So the next best player behind Patrick Mahomes.
Behind Patrick Mahomes. It's a defensive player, just to give you a hint.
Nick Bosa.
No. Myles
Ooh.
Garrett is who Pete has. And he's got their ranking from last year, too, because he does this every year. Last season, Myles Garrett was number 5. Trent Williams, offensive tackle from San Francisco, is number 3. He ranks Tyreek Hill as number 4. TJ Watt is number 5. Josh Allen, the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, as the number 6 player in the NFL. Then he's got Justin Jefferson at number 7. See, here's where you start to disagree. Christian McCaffrey at number 8. He's got Micah Parsons as number 9. Moving him back, as a matter of fact, from last season, he had him at number 8. Makes a pretty good case for him. He's got 40.5 sacks in 3 seasons, including 14 last season. You put him in the conversation, Prisco says, is the best rusher in the game until the playoffs roll around.
But he's young. He can change.
That's
just like Luka Dončić.
That's just a Dallas Cowboy thing. He can, which is the difference between Micah and, I don't know, number 4. Nick Bosa is number 10. And that kind of rounds out the top 10. And as you just go down, let's see where the first cat. We saw Micah Parsons at number 9. And I'll just kind of scroll down here and find another one. There's CeeDee Lamb. He's got him at number 21. Which, okay. I don't have an issue with that.
I'd be interested to know how many receivers are in front of him. I know you listed Tyreek and Justin Jefferson already.
Yes. Well, let's see if there's somebody else here that we can. Jamar Chase, he's got it 13. That was one. Let's see if there's anybody else here. Nobody else.
Okay.
So he's got him as the 4th best wide receiver in the NFL if you just go by that list. So, okay, I can see that. And then the next wide receiver that he's got is Devontae Adams. A.J. Brown is right behind Devontae Adams at 27. Don't see any other Cowboys just yet as we continue to scroll down here. And I guess before we get to our favorite guy, Dak Prescott, we ought to know how many quarterbacks are ranked ahead of him. So let's count that, Pledge, because I know where Dak is on this list.
So we got Patrick Mahomes at 1, Josh Allen at 6.
Yes.
Which I have an issue with that. But
okay. Well, I'd like to hear that issue. Joe Burrow at 15.
So Joe Burrow's behind Josh Allen.
Yes, that's where he has. He's got Lamar Jackson at 16. So that's 4 quarterbacks right there, right? Aaron Rodgers makes it 5. He's got him at 20.
Which the guy that played 4 snaps last year?
Yeah, I have an issue with that.
Okay.
That's purely reputation. There's no question about that. So that's 5 quarterbacks, and we still haven't sniffed Dak Prescott just yet. Still going down. There's another C.J. Stroud at 38.
Okay.
So that's 6. Yeah. As we keep going, Justin Herbert at 41. So that's 7.
What has he done?
Herbert, nothing.
Okay.
Let's see. But which begs the question, and then there's Dak at 49. So he's got Dak listed as the 8th best quarterback in the NFL.
Which I think if you've listened to me or Jason or anybody enough, Dak's a top 10 quarterback. We've never said it was top 2, top 5.
In the regular season. And what's good about this list, if you follow this list, and again, we're going to disagree on this thing because there's a lot of question marks. He didn't have Dak ranked at all last year, according to this. So he wasn't even in the list, and he moves him all the way up to the top half because he's right there at 49.
Ahead of Jalen Hurts.
And it's at the top 50. Yes, ahead of Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts comes in at 53. There's another Cowboy, DeMarcus Lawrence at 55. He's Laramie Tunsil at 57. I have an issue with that. I mean, well, because I think that guy is certainly one of the best. He's a top 5, isn't he? Offensive lineman.
A lot of people think he's the best left tackle in the game, if not the one of.
Okay, there you go. He's certainly top 5, and I'm putting all offensive linemen on that. So I like him. So I think that's way down the list. Trevor Lawrence, who just got paid, 62, according to Pete Prisco. Tua at 65. Let's see if there's any other surprises. I want to see where he's got Tyler Smith at 75. Okay, Jared Goff all the way down at 76. I have a problem with that, and I'll be honest with you. I think Jared Goff is perhaps the most underrated quarterback in the NFL. I really do. All this guy does is he wins. I mean, he does, and he's found a home in Detroit. I think that is a very unfair ranking for Jared Goff. Khalil Mack, although he is getting older, he's up at 79. I thought it was funny. Deebo Samuel at 81. I don't necessarily have too big a problem with that. Brock Purdy at 85. Jordan Love at 87. Would you consider Brock Purdy a better quarterback than Jordan Love?
Yes.
I would too. But he's got Zach Martin all the way down at 94.
Well, I think part of that's probably age.
Could be. Kirk Cousins is at 98. He's got Will Anderson Jr. at 99. And then you go through the honorable mentions. So it's a long list, but I thought it was fascinating to see where these guys are. And I disagree with a lot. Myles Garrett's a great player, but the second best player in the league.
I don't think he's the best defensive player. much less the second best player.
I don't agree with some of that. That's really high for him. But we'll see. We'll see how the Cowboys' offensive line handles that.
Because you said non-quarterback, and my first thought was Nick Bosa.
Yeah, Nick Bosa would have been a good one. Interesting list. What do y'all think about that list and how it is? I'm just curious because lists like this are fun to look at because there's all kinds of disagreements.
Question: do you think Myles Garrett is the best defensive player in his own division?
Oh, wow. No. I would say, well, you got Watt in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I missing?
I mean, that's the one. If you're going to rank someone ahead of him, that would be the one.
Watt had a great article. There was a great article on him yesterday talking about team and how winning is everything to him, and how he would give. And I, some guys you believe, some guys you don't. But just to win a playoff game, guys never won a playoff game. That's incredible. So, interesting list. I think Joe Burrow should be higher. I think Brock Purdy should be higher. The Brock Purdy thing is interesting to me. And I know the fellas this morning were talking about that. And the disrespect is just off the chart for Brock Purdy. Can I just say this? We say system quarterback. Isn't every quarterback a system quarterback? I mean,
yeah,
aren't they?
Isn't every player a system player in a sense?
And isn't it the idea that you get people around? It is a team game. It's not a one-man show. And I know what everybody's going to say. Well, what about Dak, Joe? Cowboys had players around Dak Prescott.
Did they?
Yes, they did. They did. It's the best team the Cowboys have put on the field overall in a long time. They've had some good offensive teams and horrible defenses. I think this year they were more well-rounded than they have been in a long, long time. And things fell into place for them perfectly, and they pooped the bed again, just like they always do.
So you think, like I did, but we both had issues with, the historic defense tag, right?
Yes. It was a big word.
Both of us thought that the defense would be good, but we were concerned about how they would fare against the run.
Uh-huh.
That tells me that while, yes, there were players on that team, there were still obvious glaring holes on that team.
Well, they lost a big piece in Van Der Esch, and I think that was underreported and underrated. The hurt that caused that defense. Trayvon Diggs, you could say, certainly hurt. It did.
Yes.
But still, I believe that they had a team that could compete, especially in the NFC, because last year the NFC was not strong. It was not strong. There were 3 or 4 teams. And when Philly fell off a cliff, the waters parted for the Dallas Cowboys. And Ben Brasino on our YouTube, if Tom Brady had been drafted by Cleveland, you never heard of him. I don't disagree with that. Had Patrick Mahomes been drafted by Chicago, would we have ever heard of Patrick Mahomes? I mean, you could say that about just about anybody. So it is a system game. You put players around quarterbacks to make them better. I would say, though, that Patrick Mahomes, under Andy Reid in that system, has proven that he can win and carry a team. And to me, that's the mark of a good quarterback. You can carry a team and make everybody else better, like Tom Brady did in New England, like Patrick Mahomes is doing in Kansas City. That is the mark of a great quarterback that's on a different level. And those two guys have proven that they can get that done. And you got to win when it counts. Like, I don't know, in the playoffs, when the lights are shining bright and all of that kind of stuff. Oh, we got to take a break.
How many years did it take Tatum and Brown?
7.
Okay.
But they failed.
A lot.
They got there, but they failed.
They failed a lot?
Sure. Let me ask you a question, Pledge. Let me ask you a question. And everybody else out there, because I want to know. I saw a list that was intriguing. What is the one thing that you will spend money on that, I don't know, that you might even overspend on? What is worth 100% of the money in your mind? Think about that. We'll talk about that when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, though, I want to tell you about Connecticut. Yeah, Connecticut Quality Water of San Antonio. Connecticut's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. Made in America. And you know, if you live in San Antonio for any time, South Texas for any time, the water's hard. It can do a lot of damage. That's no secret. I mean, San Antonio water is hard. Really, a water softener in San Antonio is almost a necessity. Well, a Connecticut quality water softener, it's up to 80% more efficient than competing models. Simple design, fewer moving parts. The best part about it is you don't plug it in. You don't plug it in. There's no electricity that has to go to it, which means there's no timers to set or reset, no adjustments to make, no increase in your electric bill. It only works when you need hot water, and then it works very, very well. Soft water is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And right now, Connecticut Quality Water Softeners are offering a deal that, boy, I really can't believe. It is an incredible deal. They're going to let you try one of their Connecticut Quality Water Softeners for 90 days, absolutely free and no contract. Yeah, you heard me right. 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. Look, if you've been thinking about it at all, now is the time to call Connecticut Quality Water Softeners and get one of those put in your house. See the difference that it makes. What do? You give them a call, 656-PURE. That's 656-7873. You can also check them out online at ConnecticutSA.com. Connecticut, you know the jingle. Sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE-Connecticut.
San Antonio Sports Star.
Pork rinds pack a protein punch and are the boldest low-carb snacks out there. Skip the chip and try Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds for that ultimate crunch. And with flavors that will have you craving for more, the time to stock up on Southern Recipe at H-E-B is now. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, in a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit ConsumerCellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Texting Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textblend.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Homeowners, ready to replace your windows or patio doors, but think it's going to be too expensive? Well, think again, because with Renewal by Andersen, you can get top quality, affordable windows and patio doors for no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Just text LONG to 200-300 right now for your free in-home window consultation and free price quote. Upgrade your home with new energy-efficient windows and doors installed by certified master installers from Renewal by Andersen and get their best in the nation 20-year warranty. Renewal by Andersen is the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. Act now and get your windows and patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text LONG to 200-300. Text the word LONG to 200-300. Don't wait. Text LONG to 200-300.
Ready for the ultimate outdoor adventure? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star has your chance to win a getaway to Telluride, Colorado. Your prize package includes airfare and luxurious hotel accommodations for two, plus thrilling expeditions like fly fishing, kayaking, ATV rides, and more. And it could be all yours. Enter once per day at sasportstar.com. You must be 18 or older to play. This is an Alpha Media company-wide contest. One winner will be chosen. Complete rules at sasportstar.com. Don't miss out on the adventure of a lifetime. Enter now at sasportstar.com. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
You know, Fletch, I'm getting mixed reviews on my singing the jingle for Connecticut. Mixed reviews. Fred, is it Records, says that it was horrible. Please don't quit your day job. Thanks, Fred. And Alexandra says, better to hear Reinagel sing that than Minix. Now, I agree with that completely.
Well, also, you know, you're playing through an injury.
Yeah, I'm not at my best, Fred. So give me a shot. I like that jingle, right? I do. Oh, 656 pure Connecticut. It just kind of makes your foot stomp.
It's catchy.
It is catchy. It's very catchy. Very good. Well, I appreciate the reviews online. That's nice of you guys. Got a question for you. As we went to the break, I asked it, but I'll ask it again if you're just joining us. What is worth the money? And by that, I mean something that you don't necessarily mind spending money on, right? And there was a list out in an article that I read today. It was on Outkick, and I thought it was pretty interesting. It's a list of things that people have zero problem justifying spending the money on, if that makes it a little bit clearer. And some of the answers are pretty cool, and I'll read just a few of them, but I would love to hear some of your responses, whether you're on YouTube or whether you want to give us a call, whether you want to tweet me at Joe Reinagel 210. The number to call, again, is 656-ESPN, 656-3776. You can chime in from wherever you are. Some of the top of this list, and I thought it was interesting. By the way, Bill Taylor is going to join us here at the bottom of the hour to talk about that storm that's out in the Gulf. But some of the answers are a good pillow and a comfortable mattress. I get that.
Mattress, definitely,
right?
100%.
And dude, I found out not too long ago, mattresses are expensive as hell. But you're right. Yeah. All right. A quality and comfortable sofa or couch. Another one, good dental care and braces is well worth it to me, somebody said. But for safety, I would say quality tires is a must. Noise-canceling headphones, somebody said. Another one said, my dog. Every vet bill, every toy, every trip, he saved me. Well, that was probably my wife. It probably was because, we spend
the ACL reconstructions.
We do, yeah. So that was, although we don't have any he dogs, they're only she dogs. So maybe it wasn't her. Somebody put in here a divorce. Can I agree with that?
Was it worth it?
You're damn right it was.
There you go.
All right. So what do you think? Another one said traveling. And there's a variety of answers in here. Stuff that you don't mind spending money on. I thought that was fascinating because, look, for me, I hate buying clothes. I hate spending a lot of money on clothes or shoes, but I'll spend money on trips, go to Las Vegas and gamble. Those kind of things. I don't mind spending the money. So I've thought it's interesting, what people think is worth it and what people don't. Been getting some comments on our YouTube page. Hell Caesar says cable TV. Okay, I got that. Texas Pond Style says golf. I'm there with you.
I'll pay for a good round of golf.
I'll spend money to play some golf. Ben Brasino says his UTSA football season tickets. Miguel Martinez says paying my rent and child support. I think I'd ask you, Miguel, was a divorce worth it? If you're paying child support, that's the question. Then Pete Estrada says a good wife. Pete, did you have to pay for that wife? Is that like one of those mail order things that you had to do? Alexandra says my facials, chemical peels, and other beauty enhancements. I get that. And see, David Macias is being a smartass. All right. Can I say that on the radio?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. He says a plumber. I think that's a shot at me, Pledge. I don't know, but I think it is. No, he's not, because I will I will spend money on a plumber.
I mean, lessons learned.
Yes. So I guess that's not a shot. It's just something that I agree with you on now. It's a fascinating list, and I don't know that I've ever thought about that, but there are some things I hate spending money on. There are some things that I don't mind spending money on and probably spend too much money on, and I shouldn't. Britton Stacy says, spent money for my children's education. 3 daughters, all went through a private Christian school. 2 valedictorians, and 1 just recruited to get her PhD in forensic science.
That's cool.
Congratulations. I mean, I don't know what else to say. That's quite a resume there, Britton. Honestly. And congratulations, man. That's wow.
Every dollar spent, well earned.
Now that forensic science thing, that's where like they go out and like find out who killed who, right? Or what happened.
Forensic science.
Yeah. All right. Well, congratulations. That is fantastic. Y'all think about that. We may bring that up on another show, but I just thought it was an interesting list, and I started looking at that, and man, it's like, yeah, I'd spend money on that. Yeah, I'd spend money on that. Why not? So fascinating. Golf. What's the one thing, Pledge?
It's hard to disagree with the bed thing.
Yeah.
Because, outside of work, it's where I'm going to be spending most of my time on this earth. I think events.
Okay.
Events with friends. Like I'm a memories person.
Yeah.
So like my trip to Ruidoso, my trip to Colorado,
Kansas City for the draft.
Going up there for a game this coming year.
Yeah, nice.
Blink 182 coming up at the end of the month.
All right.
A bar tab, like just a really big bar tab at the Rue Pub where a bunch of friends have gathered around. We just had a hell of a night. Like
we can do that tonight if you want, Pledge.
Yeah. Let's go ahead.
Let's go, right? Y'all think about that. I said, I don't know. It was fascinating to me when I saw that list, and just some of the things that you don't think about. But yeah, it's like I'm gonna spend the money to get quality because it's important, and certainly a mattress is one of those things, and other things that we mentioned there. So thanks for chiming in, everybody. People are still doing it here. It's like Sean Flores says, laser hair removal. I get that. Yeah, laser hair removal. I spent a lot of money on a tattoo because it was important to my daughter. So I guess I was going to go my whole life without a tattoo, and I have no problem with them. And you want to tattoo your whole body, that's your business, and I don't care. But I was going to go my whole life without one. And my daughter said, let's get a tattoo together. When she graduated high school, she was in college, and I said, why not? Why not? Plus, I was about, 3 vodkas in. So it made it easy, too.
You only live once.
Yeah, you only live once. So there you go. All right. Well, thanks for chiming in. Hey, we're going to talk to an old buddy of mine, Bill Taylor, meteorologist, Ken's 5 television. There's a big storm out in the Gulf. And I don't know if it's coming here, if it's going to cause us some rain, whatever the case may be. Bill Taylor knows, and he will let us know when we continue on the Blitz right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, though, I want to tell you about Parkhurst New Vision. Parkhurst New Vision has completely changed my life. It has. You know, if you've been listening to the show, I had lens replacement surgery over a year ago, and life is just good. No more readers, no more glasses, no more contacts, none of that kind of stuff. And I tell you what, my eyesight is better now than it was 30 years ago. And it's all thanks to Dr. Parkhurst and his staff at Parkhurst New Vision. And then I go online and I continue to see it, and I love it because, you know, you go online and these things, they pop up, and it's happy patients. And it's kind of like a community of patients now that all are happy with the work that has been done at Parkhurst New Vision. It's incredible how many people they help on a day-to-day basis. It's fascinating to me. Well, look, you can join that community as well. All you have to do is take that first step, and that's to give Parkhurst New Vision a call. 210-585-2020. You can also check them out online at sanantoniolasig.com. When you call them, you set up your initial consultation. You go in and ask questions. Let them know that your good friend Joe Reinagle from the Blitz sent you in there. And then they're going to walk you through the process of exactly what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. You're going to walk through the door and feel like family immediately. And then you're going to feel really good when you leave there after meeting the doctors and all the folks that are going to take very good care of you. Come join us. Let them do for you what they've done for me and so many others. Call Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday, when we return, we will talk baseball. The Aggies are still playing, but are they undefeated? We'll get into it.
And less than a week away from the NBA draft, let's take a look again at what the Spurs may be doing. Morning Huddle will start up at 6 right here on 94.1.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save because nobody likes having to choose. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
At T-Mobile, you can get the benefits you want and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, switch and keep your phone. We'll pay it off up to $800.
Via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device credit service and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months. See T-Mobile.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hulu is coming in hot this month with new shows, new movies, and all new seasons of your faves.
Don't miss FX's Clipped, the story of one NBA team's racial reckoning starring Lawrence Fishburne. Stream a new season of Shoresy, the underdog hockey team that might just knock your teeth out. Then catch the high-speed drama Ferrari starring Adam Driver and Penelope Cruz. Kick your streaming into high gear this month with so much new stuff to watch on Hulu.
Free is key during Craftsman Days at Lowe's. Right now, get one free Select V20 tool when you buy a Select Battery 2-pack. Plus, get your choice of a V20 drill or impact driver kit for $69. Don't miss your chance to save on the high-quality, high-performance tools you need during Craftsman Days. Because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 6/19. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
San Antonio is Aggie Country. This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back to the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix, well, he's on vacation. A little R&R for Mr. Minix. James Pledger is here, and our good friend Bill Taylor is going to join us here in just a moment. We got a little something happening out in the Gulf that might affect our weather, probably will affect our weather. But since I only play a weatherman on the radio, we decided to go to the big TV. And that's where our buddy Bill Taylor is. He's not quite there yet, is he, Pledge? Oh, he is there. Bill, are you there?
No, thanks.
What, are you there? Hello? Does this thing work? Hello? Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Is
Bill
that you,
Taylor,
Joe?
what's going on?
What's up, my man?
Hey.
How you been, brother?
I'm good. How you doing over there at the big TV world?
You know, here on the hill at 5,400, we're still putting on the makeup and the hair's looking great. You know, I mean, we're doing it one day at a time, brother.
Well, I mean,
we miss you, man. We miss you on the hill.
Well, I miss the people over there for sure. And my hair still looks great too. Everybody's watching on YouTube right now can attest to that. They admire it on a daily basis. So I'm just
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. On a daily basis.
On a daily
I know
basis.
last time you had me on, I had you, of course, say hello to the great Deborah Knapp.
Yes.
She's not with us here today, but I've got somebody else who wants to say hi to you.
Uh-oh. Who's that?
What the hell, Joe?
Oh my goodness. That sounds like Director Ray.
That's right.
Oh my goodness. Now see, Ray was like over at Ken's 5 is like Pledge is here. He pushes all the buttons and makes everything work and actually makes Bill Taylor and everybody else over there. And when I was there, me too, but makes us look good and make sure everything works right. But Ray, I hope everything's good, man.
It's good. The hardest part for directing for you was when I couldn't read your scripts because it was all mumble jumble.
Well, you know, Ray, you got through it. You did a great job, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love working with you. I miss you here, you know, so.
Miss you guys too, man. I tell you what, and I tell people all the time, they say, do you miss TV? And I said, well, yeah, but it's really the people that I miss over there. Made a lot of lifelong friends over there. Ray included, of course, Bill Taylor and
thank you.
and a lot of people.
Man,
Deborah Knapp.
It's a family here, man.
Absolutely.
It's a family here, man.
Well,
speaking of, Ray was father of the bride.
I saw that. Congratulations,
Isn't that
Ray.
cool?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Ray.
All right, well, get ready for the rain, my brother. We've got probably the numbers are coming down a little bit in our favor. You know, yesterday's rain totals were going 4 to 5 San Antonio, maybe 8 to 10 Atascosa County, Karnes County, you know, just off to our south. Now we're kind of shifting that a little farther south. So now San Antonio over Wednesday and Wednesday night mainly, looking at about 2 to 4 inches.
Wow.
Okay, with maybe still a good soaker, still some good tropical rains. I mean, I'm looking at the Western Gulf radar right now, and it is just covered in rainfall. And I'll tell you, that's what's heading our way tomorrow. This thing is not yet a tropical storm. It's still going to probably become one tomorrow. It'll get the name Alberto. That'll be our first one of the season. And it's going to make landfall probably around 10 to 11 p.m. Wednesday night, well south of Brownsville. But what's most impressive, Joe, is that this thing is covering the whole Western Gulf. We've got this big easterly wave, which is helping it. And so you've just got a ton of rainfall with this thing, even though it's a potential storm and it's going to make landfall well south of Brownsville. It's still going to have a big impact on us tomorrow and tomorrow night.
Pledge just pulled up a map here, and I can see exactly what you're talking about. Now, and I know you guys have this down to a science, and everything is what you say is going to happen. Is there any chance the thing could wobble and move closer to us?
Not really. I mean, there's an upper level high that's off to the north that's going to steer this thing pretty well. And so and plus this easterly wave that is producing all that rain you're looking at. I mean, it's honestly what's going to keep this thing poised to the south, as far as the center of that storm. But it's just going to continue to churn up all that Gulf moisture and push it onto the Texas coast. I mean, we've already got tropical storm watches all along the Texas coast where they're expecting anywhere from 10 to 12 inches of rain, especially from Matagorda Bay up into the Houston area, Galveston. And all those spots are going to be under a big flood threat for sure. And we're included. We've got a flood watch that goes into effect in San Antonio tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. And we're going to be under that flood watch until Thursday afternoon. So it's like a, good 30-hour flood threat for San Antonio and communities to our south.
Okay, Bill. I mean, you got to look into your crystal ball and tell me. Pledge and I are actually off tomorrow. So, I mean,
nice.
there was talk of maybe, I don't know, getting some golf in. Are we done?
I would maybe consider Top Golf or Monster Golf. Something indoors. Yeah, because I don't think you're going to be on the course unless you tee off at 6 a.m. and play fast. Because I really do think it's not going to start up in San Antonio until probably about mid-morning. We could get some isolated showers, but I think the heavier rain doesn't really start until about 10 or 11 a.m. And then it really picks up in the afternoon, like say between 3 and 5 up to about 7 p.m. We start getting some waves of very heavy tropical rains. And we're not concerned with hail. We're not concerned with damaging winds. It will be breezy. It'll be windy, but it won't be like 45 or 50 mile per hour winds, probably about 20 to 30. That's even tonight and most of tomorrow and even into Thursday, breezy conditions, but no threat of tornadoes or hail with this. It's just going to be a flood threat as we get, like I said, 2 to 4 inches of rain between Wednesday and Thursday morning.
I want everybody to know out there, I love this guy, Bill Taylor, dear friend.
Love you too, bro.
But I tell you what, man, when you get him talking weather, it's just like it's like a robot, just like moving forward. And there's high pressure here, and there's this over there, and
it's one question. And I tell you what, it's always like what can we play golf tomorrow? And about 15 minutes later,
yeah, I told Pledge, I said, I don't know if we're going to have enough time. I'm going to ask him about the storm, and we may run out of time. The show might be over.
Right. You know how it is, man.
Joe, we're going to have to cut your Sports Center.
Good. Yeah. So it's back like the good old days, right? Yeah. The weather guy gets into the sports guy stuff.
I'm all over your sports time, bro. Absolutely.
Well, Bill,
every time.
Is this a sign that we could be active in the Gulf this year, or is this just one of those things?
No, this is an active season. I mean, every indication is that we're going to have a very active hurricane season. This is not an early start. In fact, the last couple of seasons, we got started with named storms in May. So it's not that this is a very early start, but here's the thing. We're looking at another system. I haven't talked about it a whole lot, but by the end of the month, like the 24th or 25th, there's another system expected to develop in the same spot, the Bay of Campeche up into the southern Gulf and coming up towards Brownsville, like around the 26th or 27th of June. So we're looking at two good systems now in the Gulf of Mexico this month. And all the forecasts, from NOAA and Colorado State, the leaders in hurricane forecasting, are saying we could have at least a dozen to 15 hurricanes this season.
Now, that's not just necessarily us, though, right? That's everybody along the Gulf Coast.
No, that's the Gulf Coast. That's the Atlantic. That's the entire area. Yeah, that's like I said, the Atlantic too. That we could have upwards of 20 named storms and maybe about a dozen hurricanes this year.
Well, so Bill, are we in like La Nina or El Nino or what?
Absolutely.
What are we in?
Well, right now we're in La Nada. it's the in between. So El Nino is wrapped up, and we're going to go into a La Nina, which by August, September, that's what's going to really start cooking up a lot of storms because you lose the upper level wind speeds and you get a good rising air motion across the Atlantic, and that's a conducive environment. Plus, the waters are really warm, and all that spells out and dovetails into a lot of storms forming.
Well, this is awesome, Bill, and I appreciate you doing this. And truth be told, I know you're usually working during showtime, so you don't know that I give you a hard time because it could rain like 20 inches today, and we'd still be in a drought.
I know, right?
So I always tell people that's my old buddy Bill Taylor. We're always in a drought. We are still technically in a drought, right?
Exactly right. It's a moderate drought for Bexar County. It's severe for like a sliver of the like northwest Bexar County. But once you get into the hill country, Joe, it's still extreme drought for Kendall County up into Kerr County. And of course, Medina Lake, less than 3% full. That's all extreme drought. So I'm hoping that this rain, because the rain totals taper off fast when you get into the hill country. I'm really hoping that this system can send them a lot of rain. They need it more than anybody up there.
Well, you know, James Pledger's mother lives at Canyon Lake, and he's telling me the lake is really low right now.
Yeah, Canyon too. Absolutely. I don't know. I think it was 50, maybe 60%. I mean, it's one of the lowest I've ever seen for Canyon.
All right,
yeah,
look,
really low.
I know we're getting close to 5 o'clock, and you're probably leading the newscast. Am I right?
Exactly right. How'd you know? See, it never leaves you, Joe.
You're a big ham, dude. That's all. Okay.
That's all it is. You know that. Jeremy Baker sends his blessing.
I say hello to Jeremy Baker. That's awesome, man. Miss all those folks over there. Bill, thanks for taking the time, man. I know you got to get on TV and pretty up a little bit before you do. So thanks for taking the time to join us today.
Joe, anytime, my brother. I love you. Take care. Give my love to Maggie. Take care.
Will do. Bill Taylor, chief meteorologist at KENS 5 Television, joining us and says tomorrow looks like a washout for the most part anyway. But not as bad as it could have been, according to Bill. It looks like it's turning off a little bit. So not quite as bad as it could have been, but looks like it's going to be a wet Wednesday tomorrow. So whatever you did or whatever plans you have, keep that in mind. And appreciate Bill coming on here. I love talking to Bill when it's, something going on. I think the last time we talked to him, Pledge, was the eclipse that was happening. So it's good to have that. So
is the eclipse a weather phenomena, though?
I don't know, but who else are we going to get on? I don't know any guys that look at the moon, astrologists or whatever. So he was the closest that I had to a moon guy. So I don't know. I thought he explained it quite well, however. So it's interesting to see how active the Gulf is. Because when Bill was on, Pledge was pulling up a little map over here, and Bill was talking about that other system too, and you could see it starting to develop over there. So it looks like we could be a wet end of the month of June, which I don't know if anybody will complain about that. First of all, we need the rain, and it should make things a little bit cooler as well. I think today was a little bit cooler outside, although Pledge and I have been inside here for a long time, so I really don't know what it's like outside. But that's where we stand right now. So, again, our thanks to Bill Taylor, chief meteorologist at KENS 5 Television. Watch him at 4, 5, 6, and 10. The dude's on all the time, and he'll be leading the newscast today. He'll be in the middle of it, probably at the end of it as well. So you want to get your Bill Taylor fix, tune on KENS 5 here in just a few minutes. Well, wait till 6 o'clock, or you can do both, I guess, if you're at home, right? They can do both.
Sure.
I can give them a weather forecast. See, a lot of people on our YouTube channel, Pledge, are saying, was Joe on the phone talking to himself?
That was funny.
Right? I mean, and I thought that kind of was funny. Fred Villarreal, yeah. funny how we pull that off. It's the magic of radio, Fred.
Is that Joe on the phone with Joe Ryan?
Exactly. You notice? I mean, we sound just alike. But I don't see the look. I'm much better looking than he is. The only thing he's got on me is a little bit taller. That's it. I play better golf than he does. Better looking than he is. I got better hair than he does. All of those things. So, hey, just a little jealous. Nah, I love the guy. We've been friends for a long time, so appreciate him. Man, I just got off the phone. Text. I wasn't on the phone, Fred. It wasn't me. But a text from a good friend of mine who is going to join us on Thursday. Antonio Daniels is going to join us on Thursday. Our good friend Antonio Daniels, former Spur. He'll join us on Thursday to talk all things NBA. And, of course, it's going to be a lot of Spurs talk, NBA talk, and what he thinks the Spurs need to do. So I just got confirmation of that Thursday at 5:30. Antonio Daniels is going to be on with us. So that will be must listen to radio. You know, they always talking about must see TV, talking about must listen to radio. That will be that. So I'm looking forward to that. Pledge and I are out tomorrow. Just so you know, we are out tomorrow. Kind of a midweek break. Was really hoping to play some golf tomorrow, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So I'll find something else to do. But we'll be back on Thursday and then to wrap up the week and have a good time. And look, I'll be saying hump day wherever I'm at tomorrow. So I hope you guys will be saying it as well. Hopefully my voice is completely back. Although, Pledge, I've noticed still a little raspy at times, but even as we go through the show today, I think it's gotten a little bit better. I don't know. I mean, you guys can tell me, but I think it's gotten a little bit better. So I'm happy about that. Hopefully by Thursday, it will be A-OK and 100%. So we'll do that. Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk is going to join us coming up here about 5:15. A lot of things that are on the website that she writes for, profootballtalk.com. Jerry Jones is calling out the Cincinnati Bengals. He is making deals with slot machine companies. And he signed a couple of players today. So we'll get the latest from Charean Williams when she joins us at 5:15. When we come back, however, we're going to talk a little, I don't know, maybe we'll talk some gizzards. Yeah, let's do that when we come back right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're riding with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Basketball playoffs start this weekend. Big fight happening on Saturday night. You know the best place to go watch anything is the Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland Road. They've proven over the last decade with those three massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around, that is the place to go watch any big game, any big event. And when you get into the Roo Pub, go hungry. The food, fantastic. I love the fried shrimp over there. They've got the biggest and best wings in town. About 15 different burgers on the menu, including the original Wemby burger. They've got great appetizers, salads, and that kitchen is open late till 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. The Roo Pub does have happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the Big Blind, the Roo Pub, next to the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
The innovation you've been waiting for is here. The Big Cheez-It Crunchwrap Supreme and Tostada from Taco Bell. Built on the 16X Cheez-It platform, with the first flavor matrix stable enough to make a Cheez-It Tostada possible, and cheesy enough to power a Crunchwrap. Because if you want to change the world, you have to bring something big to the table. Think big and order the Big Cheez-It Crunchwrap Supreme and Tostada from Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for limited time only, while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan sea salt body wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
Testosterone levels in men can start to decrease as early as 30 years old, and long-term health risks can be extremely damaging to your body. Rock's Discount Vitamins carries a variety of natural testosterone boosters that can immediately provide you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improve your mood. Rock's Discount Vitamins natural testosterone boosters can even help you build muscle and lose weight faster. With 11 San Antonio locations, visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. Thanking God and South Texas for all the support.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textblend.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Replace stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Homeowners, ready to replace your windows or patio doors, but think it's going to be too expensive? Well, think again, because with Renewal by Andersen, you can get top quality, affordable windows and patio doors for no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Just text LONG to 200-300 right now for your free in-home window consultation and free price quote. Upgrade your home with new energy-efficient windows and doors installed by certified master installers from Renewal by Andersen and get their best in the nation 20-year warranty. Renewal by Andersen is the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. Act now and get your windows and patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text LONG to 200-300. Text the word LONG to 200-300. Don't wait. Text LONG to 200-300.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy happiness. But money did buy your boat, where you find peace fishing, unlike at home with 3 teenage daughters. Because fish never argue about who stole whose crop top, or get mad the other fish used up all the hot water. No, they just swim around, never embarrassed to be seen with you in public. So save money by bundling your boat or RV insurance with home or auto from Progressive. And buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, it is the Boston Celtics who hung or will hang their 18th banner in their arena. They won their 18th title, franchise history, most in NBA history, by the way. They finished off the Mavericks. Jaylen Brown named his finals MVP. Now, of course, the focus shifts to the draft next Wednesday. Spurs hold picks 4 and 8 in the first round, and of course then free agency. And the Aggies waiting for the winner of Kentucky and Florida.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back here to the Blitz, everybody. I'm Joe Reinagel here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. And in fact, if you get off work at 5 o'clock, congratulations. You made it. You made it through Tuesday. That was awesome. See, it wasn't so bad, was it? We're almost to hump day. That means the weekend is in sight.
Hump day.
That's right. And you guys, we'll be rolling. We'll be rolling down the hill come tomorrow at this time. So you only have a few, about 24 hours to go before that happens. So I'm hoping everybody's having a great day. And we certainly are. I think Pledge and I, we're having a good time here.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That seemed a little sarcastic, Pledge.
Oh, no. I'm, much like you.
Yeah.
When you're proven right, the day just has a better kind of The sun shines a little brighter.
Is that why you're wearing that ugly shirt today?
What, this one?
Yeah.
This whole thing?
Yeah, with the leprechaun going there.
Yeah.
Who would be stealing my Lucky Charms?
Well, they definitely stole your Lucky Charms.
I was wrong. I thought that the Mavericks would win that series. In fact, picked them by 6, but I wasn't the only one. There were a lot of so-called experts that thought that Dallas had a chance, and a lot of people that just thought that Boston were choke artists that wouldn't get it done because, well, their resume says that they are or they were. But I got to give them a lot of credit, especially last night, man. That defense last night was some of the best defense I think I've seen in a long time watching the NBA, especially the modern day NBA, because they don't play a lot of defense normally. So it was impressive and an impressive performance by the Celtics last night.
Yeah, a lot of people picked the Mavericks. I mean, they were playing really good. Luka was on fire. Him and Kyrie, they were talking about one of the best backcourt tandems of all time at one point leading up to this series, I remember.
And
there's only one person I remember calling him overrated, though.
And that would be me. because before they were overrated. And look, let's face it. And I'm not going to give them a hard time for this. And I'm not. And I know some other people have been today. But the road to get to the NBA Finals was not the toughest that a team has had coming out of the Eastern Conference. But you play who's in front of you. So I'm going to give them the respect. I will give them that respect. You play who's in front of you. You can't control who's there, who's not, what team's there, what's not. And then they went into Dallas and faced a Dallas team that, well, really just didn't match up well with them. Let's be totally honest. They didn't match up well with them. Didn't have enough stars. Boston just plays team basketball. And I saw that more in the finals, I think, than I saw it even in the playoff series leading up to that. So it was really a team win for them. And I know Jaylen Brown got the MVP, but you could make a call for Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum, any of those guys, I think, could have been named MVP, and any of those guys, I doubt, would have gotten much of an argument. So congratulations to them. Yes, AD, I said they were overrated many, many times. But, hey, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'm going to let you guys know I'm wrong. But I tell you what, we'll see if they can do it again. See if they can come out of the East again and get it done. Look, the West is so difficult, and it's going to be more difficult this coming season. The Spurs are going to be better. They're going to give people fits, whether they make the playoffs or not. Well, we do hope, depending on what they do. Beginning a week from tomorrow in the draft. Oklahoma City is going to continue to get better. Minnesota's they're going to be back. So Denver's going to be back. I mean, so it's going to be the West is a gauntlet. It really is. And that was the other thing that I thought. And maybe it worked to their detriment in a way, not to take anything away from Boston, but maybe it worked to their detriment a little bit. I mean, the Mavericks had a tough road to get to the NBA Finals. And I think it affected them in some way. Certainly affected Luka Dončić. I mean, he was worn out. He was tired. He wouldn't admit that he was hurt last night. When they asked him about it, he said it doesn't really matter. And I like that answer because it doesn't. He was out there, he was playing, so it doesn't matter whether he was hurt or not. So the West is going to be fun.
I'm gonna talk about this on Extra Innings here in a
All
little
right.
bit.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get your opinion on something. We're always so quick to, well, can they be a dynasty? Is this the next upcoming dynasty? Is this how you should build your team from now on? And, nothing's linear. We've had 6 different champs in the last 6 years.
Yeah.
And everybody thought the Nuggets were the model to follow after last year when they finally won it.
Right.
And then they fall short, a couple of rounds short this year.
Interesting. And I think, any league, I think, whether it's the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, parity is a good thing.
It's a great thing.
It's a good thing. And the rules are going to change that super teams are going to be discouraged by the rules. So that will happen. And I'm not saying Boston's a super team. I think that they built a team in the best possible way when you look at it, because of the pieces they put around Tatum and Brown. And I just think they went out and got the job done. And then the two pieces they added this year, put them over the hump. I mean, let's face it, Drew Holiday helped put them over the hump. Kristaps Porzingis helped put them over the hump. So, the front office did what it needed to do to get the pieces in place to let them hang another banner. What do they got? 6 guys, 5 starters, and one more, I think. At least the 5 starters are coming back. And so they will have those guys back again to try and get it done again. It's just tough. Look, I don't care what you're doing. It's tough to win a championship in any sport. And so I give respect to the Boston Celtics for getting it done. And we'll see if they can do it again. Look, the NBA season is going to start up in about a couple of weeks, isn't it? That is the longest season in the world. It is absolutely the longest season in the world. But I'm going to be interested between now and October to see what the Spurs do, how they build around their big star in Victor Wembanyama, and who I think is the second star on that team, and that's Devin Vassell. Now, no disrespect to anybody else, but I think those two guys are who you build around. Well, especially Wemby, obviously. But I think Devin Vassell is going to be one of those guys, and I was encouraged to see how they played together at the end of the season. I was encouraged to see they seem to develop a little bit of a rhythm, a little bit of a chemistry, and I think that's going to continue. And I think Devin Vassell is one of those guys that's going to be, I don't know, a Jaylen Brown, if you will, maybe even a little bit better Derek White, perhaps, in that range. Does that make sense? And I just think it will. I think it put some pieces around those two guys, and I think this rebuild gets done sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of, especially if you're looking at a Celtics like build, you're looking to lift the talent around your stars. You have stars.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I said going into the series, like the Mavericks probably have the best 2 players in this series. The Celtics have the next 6 or 7.
Yep. Now that I agree with, and I think you saw that. Yeah, Dallas got nothing out of their role players. They really didn't. Not much, anyway. It was all Luka and Kyrie, and if they couldn't get it done, then they were screwed. And that was the way that it worked. So you got to have players, and Boston played as a team. Man, I just, and especially last night, I'm watching that game just going, my gosh, that defense was just smothering. It was just absolutely smothering. The defense they played last night was just impressive. And then when they're playing defense like that, and then they start knocking down threes the way that they were, it's got to be devastating. It's got to be a punch in the gut to the opponent. And I think it was last night. You're seeing that, and you're Boston got out to a little bit of a lead, and Dallas could never quite make it up. And then the threes started raining down midway through the first quarter, and that was pretty much it. But I don't know. And Fred Villarreal points out on YouTube, he says, can Dallas get back? I think Dallas needs another guy. I think they need another guy. I think Derek Lively is a up and comer. I think he's going to be a good player for them, but I think they need another guy that they can rely on to score and certainly play some defense.
Yeah, I like PJ Washington. I like Derek Lively. I think he's a guy that's up and coming, but they definitely need more pieces, because to me, them even making the finals was I don't want to call it a fluke, but a long shot in the first place.
Yeah.
And them to get back as currently constituted would be even more difficult. I mean, you were talking about Luka playing at an insane rate just to be able to drag his team past both the Clippers and the Timberwolves.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, he did. And when you go all the way through to the finals, that's a long season, man. It is a long season. Celtics knew. They've been there before. They've done that before. Dallas didn't. So you got to see. What I want to see moving forward as we get into next year is how this experience affects Luka Dončić. I think Luka was exposed to more people that have ever seen him before. His antics, his demeanor, his crying to the officials. And so he was called out for that quite a bit. And I just want to see if that changes anything, or if it changes his demeanor moving forward, or even how he prepares in the offseason. That's going to be interesting to see as well. So a lot of questions, but I'm looking forward to the draft next week. Certainly looking forward to that, because I want to see what the Spurs are going to do. And I just hope there's some kind of splash. I really do. I love Steven Castle. I love to see them take him at 4. You got a backup point guard that you can work with, train, and have for a long time. And then maybe wheel and deal a little bit. It's going to be fun. We'll see. Speaking of wheeling and dealing, Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, making some news today, but it has nothing to do with Dak, Micah, or CD. A lot of other things, although the Cowboys did sign a couple of players today. Charean Williams from ProFootballTalk.com will join us here to tell us all about it and what she knows and what insight she can add. We'll talk to Charean coming up here in just a moment on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Star. Ready for the ultimate outdoor adventure? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star has your chance to win a getaway to Telluride, Colorado. Your prize package includes airfare and luxurious hotel accommodations for 2, plus thrilling expeditions like fly fishing, kayaking, ATV rides, and more. And it could be all yours. Enter once per day at sasportstar.com. You must be 18 or older to play. This is an Alpha Media company-wide contest. One winner will be chosen. Complete rules at sasportstar.com. Don't miss out on the adventure of a lifetime. Enter now at sasportstar.com.
Hi, Jason Minix here for my friends at Hill Electric. When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. I know I've used Hill Electric at my house for a variety of projects through the years. They've added extra outlets in the garage because, you know, the builder never puts enough in there. They put a nice spotlight over one of my grills outside, dimmer lights in the living room. They do fantastic work and have for over 3 decades. The family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. Whatever your project is, Hill Electric has the right service for the right price. And you know what? Never a service charge, always free estimates. So it costs you nothing to figure out what it will take to get your project done. Hill Electric, a great local family-owned business. Again, never a service charge, always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074, 404-9074, or check their website, hill-electric.com. That's hill-electric.com.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Because now at Staples, you can save up to $50 on your print purchase. From posters and flyers to signs and menus, Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. And with Staples Print Perfect Guarantee, it's done right or it's printed again free. Plus, same-day service is available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. Get it printed right at Staples. And now get up to $50 off your print purchase. And 76, visit staples.com/print for details.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You want another way to add excitement to watching the NBA playoffs? Jason Minix here. Let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. It is a fan favorite way to play fantasy sports, especially playing the pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your pick'em entry, and all you have to do is select higher or lower on player stats. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. Endless projections to choose from. It is fantasy and it is legal in Texas. So get started by going to the easy-to-use Underdog Fantasy mobile app or go to the website underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR, and Underdog will give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick'em entry and a deposit offer. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, sign up using my promo code STAR at underdogfantasy.com.
It all comes down to this. Get to the #1 sports bar, Twin Peaks, and catch every second of the final series in professional basketball. Will Dallas or Boston take the championship trophy? Find out at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
The Aggies play here. This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, the Blitz. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix on vacation this week. James Pledger pushing the buttons and making things happen. We appreciate you listening and joining us. A lot of things happening today when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, and none of them are about CD, Dak, or Micah. So let's go to Pro Football Talk Charean Williams, Mother Football, who knows all about that, because Pro Football Talk Charean today had all of these stories, and I tell you what, they're fascinating, some of the things that the Cowboys are doing off the field, if you will.
I guess we're referring to the UFL signings.
Well,
is that what we're...
UFL signings. There was another report all about this. Let's start with the Sunday ticket testimony Jerry Jones had yesterday. He and what's amazing to me, Charean, I haven't seen that anywhere else except on Pro Football Talk. It's really that whole trial or whatever it is, hearing is just kind of strange. But Jerry testified yesterday, and I guess the headline there was he kind of took a shot at Cincinnati, kind of.
Yeah, he did, and he's right. I mean, it's accurate. And, Florio made the point, my boss, Mike Florio, made the point of he didn't have to single out the Bengals, but he has a feud with Mike Brown, and so that's part of it. But the Cowboys make more money than any other team, and if they were their own entity and could negotiate their own TV rights, they would make more, than Florio's point, than any other team, not just the Bengals. They make more money than every other team in the NFL, including the Giants, including the Eagles, including the Commanders, all those, big market teams that you want to talk about. They would make more money than them, and that's just a fact. So, yeah, he took a little shot at Mike Brown, and those two guys don't like each other all that much, and so it is what it is. But it is an interesting trial and could change the way that Sunday ticket is sold and bought for consumers, and I think it would be a very good thing if you were able to buy. Say you live in Dallas-Fort Worth and you're a fan of the Buffalo Bills, you'd be able to buy just the Bills. You wouldn't have to buy the whole entire package. You could buy that one team's games, and that's all you want to watch. So it's going to be interesting how this thing plays out and what happens. And you're right, not a lot of people have followed. I think more people are following it now after the testimony yesterday by Jerry Jones and Roger Goodell, but it really has gone under the radar. Unfortunately, Mike Florio has a law degree and is able to kind of, put all the pieces together for us and kind of give us a Cliff Notes version of what's going on.
Well, I find it fascinating, and you're right. It's going to change everything, and the Cowboys are sitting pretty however that happens. I just don't think it would be good for the rest of the NFL, Charean, if that was the case, because just because some of these other teams wouldn't make any money. I'm looking at teams like Jacksonville or maybe Carolina or even the Bengals, who, I mean, what would you do? Would you have to share the pot? It just seems to bring up all kinds of things.
Yeah, the revenue sharing has been very good for the NFL, and it's why teams like the Bengals and the Jaguars are able to compete, because they evenly share most of the revenue. And part of the problem with the Bengals and what kind of began the feud with Jerry and the Bengals is the Bengals didn't want to sell naming rights to Paul Brown Stadium. Mike Brown wanted to keep the stadium the name of his father, but in this day and age, you have to sell everything. I mean, we look at colleges, what they're going to do now. They're going to sell the naming rights of their stadiums and their fields, and they're going to have advertisements on these fields. It's going to be ugly. These fields are going to be awful. But that's what they have to do now for the NIL. They have to sell naming rights. They're going to sell advertisements on their jerseys. We are going to see AT&T and whoever, Buc-ee's, whatever it is, we're going to see those on jerseys now, sort of like some of the other major league sports have done around the world. And soccer, I think, does it now. But we're going to see more of that, and people are going to have a fit when they first see that. But, that's what you have to do now, particularly in the colleges, to make money, to make NIL work for you. And with the Cowboys, Jerry always saw the benefits. I mean, he sued the NFL over it. Always saw the benefits of selling, Nike and Pepsi and all that as sponsorships which the NFL initially told him he couldn't do, and he says, I can do it and I will do it, and sued the NFL, and he won, and it really changed the way that teams could make money, and that's really what upped the price of his team, the value of his team, and other teams around the league too. He's been a very good businessman for the NFL. Well, if you want to put, fingerprints on how the NFL and its teams have gone up in value and are making so much money, it goes back to Jerry Jones. His fingerprints are all over that from the beginning.
You're right, Charean. Like Jerry Jones or not, you got to respect the guy.
Yeah.
He just makes money. That's what he does.
Yeah, no question.
He's incredible. We're visiting with Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk. And Charean, you've got an article today on your website talking about Connor Williams in discussion with multiple teams. What is that all about? I hadn't seen that he was even looking.
Yeah, well, he had, an ACL injury on December 11th against Titans, but it was more than that. And nobody said, his agent's Drew Rosenhaus, nobody said exactly what the knee injury was. It tells me there might have been a nerve thing or more ligaments, whatever it was. It was more significant than, quote unquote, just an ACL injury. Drew Rosenhaus's agent called it a pretty significant injury a few months ago after Louis Riddick of ESPN questioned whether Connor Williams would be able to continue, whether it was career threatening. And so now he is healthy enough apparently to know that he can play and wants to play. And so he's in talks with other teams. And he'll find a home. He's one of the top free agents on the market, assuming he's healthy. And I would assume that teams are going to give him a physical and they're going to work him out and take a good look at him before they sign him. But obviously teams are now interested in him. And the interesting thing is the Cowboys tried to move him to center, played left guard for the Cowboys. Cowboys tried to move him to center one year and it didn't work out. They tried it in training camp, off-season program a little bit, decided he wasn't a fit at center, so kept him at left guard. He leaves, he goes to Miami, and they signed him as a center. And I'm thinking, well, this isn't going to go well because it didn't work out for the Dolphins. And for whatever reason, for 2 years, he was a pretty solid starting center for the Dolphins. So if someone will sign him because of his experience at guard, at center, whether he's a starter or backup, he's going to be very valuable, assuming he's healthy, because he's played both those positions and played them both fairly well.
Any chance the Cowboys have interest in him?
I don't know, but if I was them, depending on what the price was, I'd sure make a phone call and see, because, you know, what you have at center, you're making that change at center, and what you have perhaps at guard. You know, you don't know for sure that the rookies are going to be great at center and left tackle, and are you going to have to move Tyler Smith out there? So to me, he would be a very, very valuable addition for the Cowboys because of his experience at left guard and at center, which is two positions the Cowboys frankly need depth back there, and they need somebody who has played there that they can say, all right, well, we're going to move Tyler Smith out to left tackle. We have a left guard in Connor Williams, or same thing at center if the rookie doesn't work out there. So absolutely, I would expect them to at least make a phone call and see what the price is.
Charean Williams with ProFootballTalk.com. And of course, the Cowboys, we've been on them all offseason for not doing anything. And a Connor Williams signing, I think, would be a great thing. They are going back to the UFL. Charean Conley and Willie Harvey Jr. Have been signed today, linebacker and cornerback. And you look at Charean Conley, Charean, first-round draft pick out of Ohio State. He just hasn't caught on with anybody. So why not take a chance?
Yeah, you know, I don't mind this signing at all, and he got some experience in the UFL with the defenders, and so, you know, I think it's a no risk, obviously, signing, as is Willie Harvey, who plays linebacker and you know, could add some depth there. And I think they're looking at special teams as well, as much as special teams. You know, people know about the kickoff rule now. It's going to change. One thing I don't think has been emphasized enough is how it's going to change your rosters, because you're looking at different kind of cover guys. So you're going to want more cornerbacks, more linebackers, more guys who can go down and make tackles, as opposed to using tight ends and linemen out on special teams for kickoffs in particular. It's going to remake some of these rosters. The bottom parts of the roster, those special teams, core special teamers as they're called, at the bottom of the roster, it's going to change who those guys are. And both of these guys are very capable of doing that. So I think that's why you're seeing them sign some of these type players that have a chance to really play on special teams and help you on special teams.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, the new kickoff rule. I can't have you on, Charean, and not ask you about your Texas A&M Aggies doing very well in the College World Series thus far.
Yeah, you know, when they lost, you know, their second best pitcher and their best position player in the regional super regional, you know, you immediately think it's not their year. You know, they're snake bit, and then you think about everything that's happened since then, and you start to wonder whether maybe this is just a team of destiny. Maybe they're that good and that deep. And now Jace Laviolette is injured, and you know, hamstring injuries don't heal in 2 days. Let's just be honest about this. You know, as much as they tape him up, there's not a whole lot they can do. You know, maybe he can pull Kirk Gibson and DH. I don't know. That remains to be seen. But you know, hamstring injuries, these soft tissue injuries take 4 to 6 weeks. So you know, he's not going to be 100% for this thing, and I doubt he's going to be able to play the outfield. I would seriously doubt. And had the great catch, obviously, against Florida that saved that game. But, you know, you lose 3 of your best players on your roster, and you're still able to do what they've done, just outstanding pitching performances in 2 games, and then got enough hitting to make it work. So maybe they are that good. I sure hope so, and I hope we continue to see them win. I think the game tonight, I think, has been postponed tomorrow, right? So that should help. That should help the Aggies a little bit too. And I do think Tennessee's the favorite in this thing, but shoot, if the Aggies just get to the final, I'm still going to want them to win it, but just getting there will be a great accomplishment for the players that they've lost over the last couple of weeks.
No question about it. Charean Williams from ProFootballTalk.com. Follow her on Twitter at NFL Charean. Charean, always great to talk to you. We appreciate that. Go Aggies, and we'll visit more about the Cowboys. There's always something to talk about.
There is. Thanks for having me, Joe.
Thank you, Charean. Charean Williams from ProFootballTalk.com. Always love having her on the air, courtesy of Buyers Barricade guest lines. All guests, in fact, appear via the Buyers Barricade guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control rental and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. Boy, I tell you what, Charean, it just so much going on, and it's kind of nice to talk Cowboys without, ripping Dak Prescott or whatever the case may be. Although I probably, by the time we get back on the air, I'll be, I'll have to have a hit of Dak hate.
Yeah, you'll be fiending.
I'll have to. So it's just the way it is and the way I roll. So it's funny that Jeremy Fowler of ESPN said that the Cowboys, he's reporting this according to his sources, that the Cowboys are prioritizing Dak Prescott before CD Lamb even. So I found that interesting. It's going to be interesting to see if they get anything done here before training camp, or if they try to take care of everybody once they get to Oxnard before the season starts, because you figured they'd want to do that. They don't want to go through the season without signing those guys, do they? Even though I have a different take on it. I wish that they would have some stones and maybe roll the dice a little bit, but we'll see what they end up doing. Hey, when we come back, a long-lost friend has been found. After disappearing for a little while, a long-lost friend has returned. I'll let you know who that is. In fact, you're going to hear from her coming up when we continue right here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday, when we return, we will talk baseball. Undefeated. We'll get into it.
And less than a week away from the NBA draft, let's take a look again at what the Spurs may be doing. Morning Huddle will start up at 6 right here on 94.1.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you are having any issues at your house with your plumbing or your AC, there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899, 651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are full service, big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission, sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quartermoon, they are green certified. If you're having any kind of issues with your plumbing or your AC, this time of year, if your AC is out, you need somebody that you can call that can get there quickly, and somebody that you can trust, like I had to do a couple of weeks ago. My AC was out. I dialed 210-651-5899, and Quartermoon got out there right away, got it fixed, and got my house cool again. Plumbing, AC, Quartermoon, 210-651-5899, or online, quartermoonplumbing.com. Over the past decade, the Roof Hub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roof Hub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roof Hub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roof.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website. at alawyerforus.com.
The Ace Superhero Comic Con presented by Thomas J. Henry is coming June 20th to the 23rd. Meet Star Trek's Chris Pine, Spider-Man Far From Home star Jake Gyllenhaal, Pirates of the Caribbean's Orlando Bloom, Star Wars Diego Luna, She-Hulk's Tatiana Maslany, and the Marvel's Aman Vellani. Plus, the Supermen, Ghostbusters Ernie Hudson, and Arrow's Stephen Amell and David Ramsey. Get your event passes now at pmxevents.com. That's pmxevents.com.
Testosterone levels in men can start to decrease as early as 30 years old, and long-term health risks can be extremely damaging to your body. Rock's Discount Vitamins carries a variety of natural testosterone boosters that can immediately provide you with more energy, increase libido, increase metabolism, and improve your mood. Rock's Discount Vitamins natural testosterone boosters can even help you build muscle and lose weight faster. With 11 San Antonio locations, visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. Thanking God and South Texas for all the support.
With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. From high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone, including blackjack tournaments. From the owners of the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, the Big Blind is locally owned and operated, offering daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 and Redland Road.
Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate, or going to the grocery store for milk instead of buying your own cow. You know there's an easier and better way. Save up to 25% when you bundle home and auto with Allstate.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
When you're high, you feel different. Think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6. What's the latest with the Spurs? Are they ready for the draft? It's all right here on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix taking the week off, little R&R time, little vacation time. James Pledger is here, though. He is still pushing the buttons and doing all of that kind of stuff. Man, it's been a great day. It really has been a good day. Just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of different stuff happening. Now that the NBA season's over, we're certainly going to focus a lot on the draft. And boy, I'm going to need y'all's expertise on this, or your opinion and all of that stuff, because I'll be honest with you. I can sit here and you can guess and you can have an educated guess, but I would bet, well, I'm not a very good bettor, but I would bet that there's not anybody out there not named Greg Popovich, Brian Wright, or R.C. Buford that knows what the Spurs are thinking and what they may or may not do. Mock drafts have been all over the place, but we'll get into all of that as we get a little bit closer to the draft. The NBA draft coming up 1 week from tomorrow. And I'm glad it's finally here. The season is over. We can start looking ahead to the next season and hopefully improving this Spurs team and start getting back in the game. The last 2 years have been difficult. Really, the last 6 have been kind of difficult, not knowing the direction that this team was going. Now that we do, that you've got your prize pick in Victor Wembanyama, now you know what to do and how to build around him. So it's going to be fun to watch the process and see what the Spurs are thinking. And we'll get our first look a week from tomorrow when the NBA draft kicks off. You watched the NBA Finals last night. There was something that was very interesting. It was P.J. Washington and Kristaps Porzingis in a little tuffle. And as it turned out, they kind of bumped each other, and then Washington pulled Porzingis back, knocked him on the floor. And, we've been talking about physical play quite a bit. And physical play in the NBA, we let it go. That's just basketball. In the WNBA, it's a little bit different. We get all up in a huff, right? When somebody bumps Caitlin Clark or knocks her down or hits her in the head. And I get it. And it's been happening quite a bit. Maybe it's a little bit different. But it's funny to me that Doris Burke, who was on the call last night and saw what happened, and after the call, she took a moment to kind of be maybe a little sarcastic or maybe even a little bit funny.
Just throws him down. Crowd reacting to the replay on the big screen. Washington just trying to send a little message, play some physical basketball.
If that were Caitlin Clark, it might spark a debate for a week.
And she's absolutely right. I mean, we've talked, not just we here on the Blitz, we certainly have. I know they do on the Morning Huddle, but all over the country, people talking about the WNBA. And it has been fascinating to see the exposure that the WNBA has gotten. In fact, get this. The Sky Fever game on Sunday with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark tops WNBA ratings, biggest rating in 23 years. 23 years. That's incredible. And it all comes from us talking about certainly these two, but mostly Caitlin Clark and how she has become a media darling and introduced to the entire world. And the way she plays just captivates people. And all of those kinds of things are just, they've just been fascinating. They certainly have. And so the WNBA reaping the rewards. I just hope that at some point in time, all of us in the media stop talking about the pettiness and stop talking about they don't like Caitlin Clark because of this or that or whatever the case may be. I hope all of that will soon go away. Certainly for sure, because the WNBA is going to benefit from all of this. It's got to. It's going to benefit from all of this. Well, you know what we do every Tuesday? We talk a little injury. It is called the Injury Update, powered by the Sports Institute at TSA OG Orthopedics, online at tsaog.com. Dr. Josh Bell is joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Dr. Bell, how's your Tuesday going out there?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Well, we're doing just great. You're stuck with me, Doc. Just Joe. Jason is on vacation. I think he's always on vacation, but you know how that goes.
I do.
Yeah, exactly right. No, everything's going good. Pledge and I are holding down the fort. Want to ask you about Kristaps Porzingis. Obviously, the NBA Finals are over, but we heard that he's going to need surgery and going to be out for a few months because he suffered a torn I can't even say that, Doc. Recticulum. Not sure exactly what that is, but he tried to play and really was not effective, and now he's going to have surgery. Is that an intense thing that could cause some problems down the road?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's hard to understand exactly what happened to him based on the reports that I saw. What it said in one of the reports I saw, he dislocated or tore his posterior tibialis tendon. And so that's just basically one of the tendons that goes down from your calf on the backside, kind of close to the Achilles, on the inside of your foot, kind of close to the arch. And so it rides in a groove, so you can dislocate it out of the groove or you could tear it. So I'm not exactly sure from the reports what he did, but he obviously injured enough that he was, obviously hampered during, missed some time there in the NBA Finals, which is obviously a big deal, and then requires a surgery. So a repair of the tendon or repair of a dislocating tendon, that's a pretty intense repair because he's definitely going to be out months. So it's definitely it's good for him that they were able to win the finals and didn't need his services, because I thought with him going down, that might have been a difference maker, but the Celtics had too much even without him.
Dr. Bell, I'm curious, is that an issue that you sometimes see in somebody that is taller than somebody else, or does it really matter?
Yeah, well, that's a little bit of you don't hear that a ton in NBA players, but, one way to think about that tendon, the posterior tibialis tendon, is it does come down on that inside and sort of supports the arch. And so some people who kind of develop a flatter foot over time, they can injure that or stretch out that tendon. So that's one of the things. So obviously you look at Yao Ming, Bill Walton, really, the 7-footers, I worry a little bit about just having all that pressure on the arch, because obviously it's more in a 7-footer than it is a guy who's 5'5". So it definitely is a concern for me. I haven't heard of that injury, taken out a player that's a 7-footer before. The thing that we heard, I think Yao Ming had and some other guys have had, is where they injure a bone in the front of their foot called the navicular. But I think that's a little more associated with some of those taller players, but certainly would be in the same category, all that pressure with the guy with his length.
Interesting. Doc, we're just getting some breaking news right now. The Houston Astros have apparently placed right-hander Justin Verlander on the 15-day injured list due to neck discomfort. I know that doesn't give you a lot to go on, but that's all they're giving us. He hasn't pitched since June 9th, by the way. Any guesses as to what that could be? I mean, neck discomfort could mean a lot of things, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but that's all they're giving us.
Yeah, I mean, boy, it's tough. I mean, you look at, guys of his, breed. I kind of think of him as a kind of an older school kind of pitcher, just kind of a workhorse, got the fastball, a big-bodied guy. But there's a reason that Nolan Ryan stopped pitching. It wasn't because he didn't want to pitch anymore. It's because things kind of wore out. Things kind of, don't work quite the same way. Hard to know for sure. You worry about a disc issue, in the neck, just because, that can start to affect the nerves and start to affect some other things. So really hard to know on those initial things, but I think he missed a start, and then obviously whatever they were doing rehab wasn't enough, or it didn't take care of the problem. So adding him to that, I hate to see it early in the season like that with a workhorse like him, because he's a gamer. He's a gamer. He's proved that over the years. But you hate to see him missing games, and hopefully they can get him right and get back in the lineup. But it makes me nervous about a neck injury in someone throwing balls all the time.
Dr. Bell, I don't mean to put anything on poor Justin Verlander, but he's 41 years old, and I've always been told that Father Time is undefeated.
It is, absolutely. And that's, you think about it, and guys like Tom Brady, who played to 45, and guys like Nolan Ryan back in the day playing, I don't know when he retired, but he's the kind of person I think about when I'm thinking of like a Verlander. But yeah, Father Time is undefeated, and you hope for all of these guys, I hope that they can play as long as they're able to, but that they recognize that there is a limit, and they go out on their own terms, as opposed to going out beyond the 15-day DL and then missing 6 months and then missing,
Yeah.
I just want them to say, man, I've had it, I had a good career. I'm going to pack it in now. But I can't be in their head. So I don't know.
We're visiting with Dr. Josh Bell from the Sports Institute at TSA OG Orthopedics. And Doc, we got another somewhat breaking news. Mike Trout, who has been recovering from a meniscus. Is it a tear pledge? Is that meniscus tear? He gave a health update today, and he said his recovery is going slower than anticipated, and he hopes to begin running soon. That's something you don't hear very often from these athletes. Typically, you give a health update, and it's like, well, things are going faster than we thought. Why would things maybe go slower than you think?
Yeah, so I'm not completely familiar with what he had done. The meniscus surgery, the two basic types that we think about in athletes like this are ones that we just kind of clean up an edge that's kind of not smooth anymore. That's one, and that's usually a quicker recovery. We kind of clean up that cartilage so that it's not catching in the joint. That's the one you hear about an NBA guy being back on the court in 4 weeks, kind of deal. The other ones, we might do a repair, meaning we put stitches in it. Well, we put stitches in it, we're asking the body to heal that, because the stitches aren't going to hold forever. We have to make, hopefully the blood supply is good enough, et cetera, that they can heal that. So it makes me think that they did a little more than a cleanup, or maybe there was something in another part of the cartilage, just on the end of the joint, that they had to deal with. And that might take a longer time to heal than a simple cleanup of a meniscus. So hard to know exactly, because I'm not sure exactly the procedure he had. Certainly not good news. You don't like him to hear them say, especially an athlete like that. And he's an important player, just MLB overall, and certainly for that organization. So, gosh, I hope it's not too slow for him, but that's not a good sign. You don't like to hear that they're having to take more time, but it's certainly not going according to what they thought initially.
Dr. Bell, we always appreciate your expertise, sir. Thank you very much.
Hey, have a good one. Take care.
Thank you, Dr. Josh Bell with the Sports Institute at TSA OG Orthopedics, online at tsaog.com. That is our injury update. And, of course, all guests appear via the Buyers Barricade guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. We appreciate the doc, and a lot of breaking news there. The Pledge was getting to us that had just come down. So we're happy to have the doc on so he can answer some of that. Now, Pledge, when we came into this segment, I teased that we found a long lost friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really happy about this. I tell you, it really is happy. It's a happy time that she has resurfaced. I don't know if you guys remember the Edmonton Oilers when they're going through the playoff chase. I think this was in the Eastern Conference or Western Conference Finals in the NHL. Well, this young lady flashed everybody in the arena and, showed her boobs. And she's kind of gone underground, so to speak, since then, but has resurfaced and, shot a video for us all.
Oilers girl. Actually, my name's Kate, but here we are. So I've thought long and hard about what I wanted to say to everybody. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm at one of my favorite places right now. Come here to do some thinking, we'll call it. But I just wanted to say, you could be the most perfect, godly person in the world. You could save kittens from a river if they were drowning. Someone's still going to hate you. So you know what? At the end of the day, I got drunk and whipped my out at an Oilers game and they went viral. You if you don't like it. Woo! Go Oilers.
Go Oilers. They may need you tonight, darling, because they're in trouble. Your Edmonton Oilers, and maybe a good shot of boob will give them the necessary motivation that they need to get the job done. That Kate, the boob girl from Edmonton, has come back and surfaced and has got a good attitude. I appreciate that. Quite frankly, I don't think she did anything wrong. I think she was just having a good time, had a few drinks, wanted to show everybody that, she had good boobs. She did, and I think everybody appreciated that, most everybody anyway. But apparently there were some haters online. But I just wanted to leave you with the good news that Kate, the Edmonton Oiler boob girl, has been found safe and sound. Pledge, you got a show today?
I do.
You gonna be talking about Kate, the boob girl?
No, I think you hit on it. We missed you. Welcome back.
Yes, we do. We do. I hope it's not the last we see of you, if you know what I mean. I'm just saying.
What, you want to see her gizzards?
Gizzards. I'm not having gizzards for dinner. I promise you that. That will not be happening. Well, Pledge, take it away, young man. You got a 30-minute show today or an hour?
30 minutes. We got leading you right into the Rangers.
Outstanding. Now, Pledge and I are taking a sabbatical tomorrow. We won't be here, but we'll be back on Thursday. Everybody say hump day when you wake up tomorrow. Thanks for joining us today, and we appreciate it. We'll see you on Thursday. Good night, everybody.
Riding I-35 with the Blitz.